So unbound and let free, looking for the one soul longing for me. Broken dreams create new hopes, collecting twigs to build our home. Praying the angels watch over you until the day we become true. Divine union my heart craves, a love that lasts till the end of days. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me. Life can be hard and tough, always know you are enough. Let me be your rock through the storm, the lighthouse calling you home. I will always be there to shine the light on your darkest fear, dispelling shadows that linger on, reminding you that we are one. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me. Ooh. Let's play together in this garden of love, diving deeper into souls from above. Two flames from a single wick, dancing together, wild and quick. Bound by a rhythm soft yet free, moving as one in harmony. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me. Ooh, ooh. I have found love and it set me free, like this cosmic dance that's walking to eternity. Forever you and me.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday. I am the dust at the feet of God's servants. Only God is special. Welcome back, welcome back. Yes, beautiful Saturday evening. I hope you guys have had a nice day today, doing whatever you're doing. Sorry, I just need to sort that out. Yep, that's all good. Let me drop the invite link as well, in case anyone wants to come up for a little chat. Probably not going to be a super long stream tonight, but yeah, chat is going to be there. Oh, I'm using the wrong account. Let me just change my account. But yeah, that's the Praising Frequencies account is my music account. If you just want to listen to some music that I've made, that's the place to go. Yeah, okay, cool. So I was just looking, I just saw I missed a couple of messages earlier. One from Damien and one from a random Muslim guy. Obviously telling me that I need to worship Allah and not myself. It's amazing how these Muslims seem to know exactly who you're praying to. Just because you're not praying to Allah. It's like, oh, because you don't pray to Allah? You must be worshipping yourself. No, just because I don't call my God Allah doesn't mean I worship myself, mate. There we go, and I'll drop the link again because I can't see it for some reason. Here we go. Alrighty, yeah, so that's up there if anyone wants to come up and have a little chat. But we're just starting off with same thing we do every night, Pinky. We're talking about my little walk earlier. I went for a little walk earlier. Beautiful night. Actually, when I walked out of the house, I walked out, and this is actually where the midnight rainbows come from, because you might be thinking, rainbows at night? I think Damon's got a screw loose. So I walked out and I looked up and I was like, there's clouds. so I'm not going to be able to see the stars. But there weren't that many clouds, but there was a few clouds, and well, more than usual, more than yesterday anyway. And I was looking up, I was just going for a walk, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to see that many stars tonight. I could see Saturn. I saw Saturn straight off. Boom. It was sitting there being big or bright as it usually is. And as I started walking out the house and I got out into a bit more open area, I looked around and I saw the moon. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys actually went out and saw the moon this evening, but if it had the clouds in front of it, oh my god, it looked amazing. So you get the white, I think it's called the umbra. It's the white umbra, the white halo effect of the moon. And then around that, there was another ring, and that was all like rainbow colours from the moonlight going through the clouds, because the clouds are water, going through the clouds and then creating that rainbow at night. And I was just like, wow, beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I never actually thought rainbows at night. I actually didn't think that was possible, but then yeah, when I saw that, I was like, actually no, there are rainbows at night. And it kind of goes back to what I said yesterday. There's always hope. You always got to have hope, even in the darkest of days, darkest of nights. It's always darkest before dawn. Even in the night, you can still see rainbows. There's always hope everywhere you look. But yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. So that was the little lesson I learned today. It was that midnight rainbows. Midnight rainbows. And we got a full moon in a couple of days. I think it's on the 13th of January. We've got a full moon. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I think that'll be the last time before it starts getting really light. And then obviously I'm not going to be able to see the stars as much and whatnot, which sucks, but then the days get longer. And because the days get longer, you get to play around for longer. You get to play outside for longer. I could do camping again, which I'm planning to do soon because I really want to go camping. There's a few things I want to do at camping, so exciting times. Okay, it doesn't look like anyone's coming up for a chat, which is all good. It'll just be me. Like I said, this isn't going to be a super long stream anyway. It's just me chatting, talking about appreciating the little things. Again, like always, it's all I talk about. Appreciate the little things. I'm just trying to give you guys a bit of a few reminders that even when things look bad, even if it's dark in the middle of the night, there is always a rainbow. There is always a rainbow. And I don't know if you guys seen this. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this before. It's one of my favorite toys. It's literally, it's like a little circular thing, but it turns into a toroid. So it's kind of like a visual representation of magnetic fields. I just like playing with it. It's super fun. Anyway, so you might see me doing that down here. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so as I said, so this is what I do. I just come here, I talk about life, I talk about hope, I try and look for the nice things in life, because I think everyone needs a bit of hope in their life. There's plenty of videos out there where you can watch fear, doom and gloom and hate and all that lovely malarkey. There's plenty of those channels out here doing that. I probably will do that eventually, but not just yet. Well, I'm not going to do it like that, but you know what I mean. Because like I said yesterday, I do have a few topic ideas that I want to do, like in regards to Muslims and Christians and maybe even Jews as well. So there's a few different ones that I have got planned, but like I said yesterday, I'm not in a rush. I'd rather spread hope, truth, love, compassion, contentment, humility instead of fear. Even though I'm the devil. Remember, I am the devil, so I'm the bad guy. So I will be eventually going over to the bad guy. The bad guy? I'll be going over to the bad side soon. Was it that? I don't know if you guys watch Family Guy. There's that something dark side. So that's where I'll be going. I'll be over on the dark side soon. So enjoy the goodness while it's here. Enjoy the goodness while it's here, because yeah, you never know how long we got until it's gone. Yeah, sweet. beautiful night. Went for a walk. What happened today? Was I think Yeah, it's nothing too interesting. It was just a regular walk. Not that many people out on the street. It's a bit cold. It's a bit cold. So I hope you guys are wrapped up warm. I've got double hoodies on. I've got my blanket. I'm all set up. I've even got a hot water bottle because I've got the windows open to get fresh air in. So yeah, I hope you guys are wrapped up whatever you're doing. I hope you guys are nice and toasty, tostitos, and yeah, back to the hope, love, truth, compassion, contentment, humility. Let's see. Alright. This one's gonna it's not a big deal, it's just something that just popped in my head. It's about discernment. It's about discernment. So today I was walking, and as I was walking I was going past someone's house, and I noticed that the car lights were on. And my first instinct was to go and knock on the door and let them know that, hey, you left your car lights on, because the last thing they'd probably want is to wake up, start it up, and realize the battery's dead, because I know that's what I would not like. But as I was about to go and do that, I listened a little for a second, and I noticed the car was actually running. And because the car was running, I realized, okay, they've left it running to keep it warm, and the lights are on just because it's running, and they'll be back out in a minute. And I just carried on walking, and it just kind of thought it was a good little reminder that discernment is important. Not everyone always needs your help. Sometimes they know what they're doing. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. So yeah, that was the nice little reminder today that just because you want to help doesn't mean that you should, because sometimes you're not helping, you may be getting in the way. Not related to anything else, by the way. I stand by my big nose videos. I stand by those, in case anyone was thinking. But yeah, that was just a little side little mission that I went on, and I thought that was interesting. Yeah, otherwise, it was a nice walk. A very nice walk. I go around the block a few times, and then come through the park. And it's nice at night as well, especially, like I said, especially during winter, you get that fresh air. And typically, like I said, I saw Saturn, so you get to see some stars and the moon and all the pretty things in life that we kind of take for granted. Even the sun, even those last few days that we've had have been super cold. It's been beautiful days. The sun's been shining. It's been beautiful. So I hope you guys are enjoying it and making the most of it. I hope you're not being Debbie Downers or miserable Larrys and crying about how cold it is. I hope you guys are taking advantage of the sun when it's out, and then a beautiful clear night when it is a clear night. Even today, even though it wasn't clear, it was still beautiful because, like I said, I was able to see the rainbow around the moon, and I got to appreciate that. This is why I say variation is so important. This is why I say God likes variety in life, because if every single night was a clear night, the farmers would be pissed off first, because they like their rain for whatever they're growing, for their produce. The gardeners like the rain for their gardens. But obviously you also need some sunshine too for your gardens and your produce. So this is why variation is very, very important in life. It's about rolling with the punches, going with the changes, and finding the silver lining in whatever the situation. So yes, that's why I try and say truth, love, compassion, contentment, and humility, no matter what you're going through. And trust me, I know some people are going to come up with some crazy examples, but even then, there's always hope. Alrighty, so that's about it for me at the moment. I can't think of anything else I want to say, but if I do, it'll come to me. There's no one trying to come up. Cool. Yeah, so, do you know what? Shall we do a Muslim topic, or a Christian topic, or a Jewish topic? Let's see. What shall we talk about? Let's talk let's talk Islam. Let's talk Islam. If there's anyone there that knows why Islam is bad and why it's an evil ideology, please come share. Please come share. I don't want opinions or emotional arguments. I want logical reasoning and critical thinking in your answers. Okay, so no emotional arguments. And we've got someone behind the scenes. Oh, we got Damien. Welcome back, Damien.
Hey, man.
How you doing, pal? You good?
Yeah, I'm cool. I was kind of, I was listening. I was kind of halfway through your recording, so I wasn't watching you live. I was kind of like playing it back.
Ah,
Yeah.
you missed the
And
beginning.
when you were, well, I thought you were saying, "Oh, I would come up," and I thought, "Oh God, I better go if he's on his own."
It's okay.
Well,
Listen, I've been on my own for the past year. Like most of the time, I'm sitting here talking to myself. So
I'm not being. I know you, the man. I know that's not an issue for you. Sorry, I'm kind of just being light there. I'm not
yeah,
really
no,
being
no, no,
serious.
no, I appreciate
You
it.
know what I mean? That's throw a bit of energy your way, you know.
Yeah,
So that was it's
it's a,
funny you saying about the rainbows because my friend sent me a video about an hour ago, and it was this guy. He the other way when light breaks through a kind of a prism,
mhm.
it breaks into rainbows.
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she was. It was about that anyway, basically. But she's a flat earther,
Oh, okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah,
And
this is gonna get
she's a
interesting.
she's a good mate of mine, and she believes that we're in what do you call it? That there's a globe or a ceiling to the Earth, and
A firmament or something.
at
Yeah,
the firmament, yeah,
yeah.
and that everything that we see in space and the imagery that's all fake news. Which I just like, Tracy, come on, seriously. And then I said to her, look, you can believe what you want. I would respect anybody's right to believe anything as long as
Mhm.
it doesn't harm anybody else.
Mm.
But just go and I just always encourage people, believe what you want, but look at the evidence for the other side as well.
Yes.
Do you know
Well,
what I mean? So
to
just
be
look at
honest,
both positions. You know?
to be honest, I did that with flat Earth. When I first heard about flat Earth, I heard some rapper talking about it, and it kind of made the YouTube news where people were taking the piss out of him.
Mm,
And I was like, "What? This guy's crazy. How can he think the Earth's flat?" And as I looked into the evidence of what he was saying, I was like,
mm.
"Actually, that makes a bit of
Yeah,
sense."
yeah. Well, she thought that the rainbow in the sky was arched because it was being blocked
Of
by
the
the.
dome. Yeah. No.
And I thought, all right, okay. So I had to explain to her. I said, well, Tracy, the reason when something light comes through a reflection, like a glass reflection, and then you see like maybe a line of a rainbow on the floor.
Mhm.
That's because it's. I'm not sure. I remember one time seeing it. It's when light goes through a prism, it comes out the other side. Light breaks down into all those colors, and it's infinite. You know, I think all sorts of light has all those colors when you break it right down
Mhm.
into whatever it is. I'm not really sure of the ins and outs, but I think that's the foundation blocks of the color is the foundation blocks of light. I think.
I'm
Um,
gonna drop a little gem for you.
hmm.
Probably might already know this, but how many chakras are there?
Going to talk to you about the chakras actually. Seven, but there's a talk about an eighth one. I know that.
Okay.
Is,
So
is that where you're gonna go?
it was actually going to go with white light going through a prism
Hmm.
breaks up into 7 colors,
Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty. Which is
and
the
the seven
colors, seven
colors
colors.
are
Yeah,
corresponded with each
with
of
the
the
chakras.
chakras.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
it's the idea that the oneness that we come from the one, and then
Yeah.
splits into 7 aspects within ourselves of that white light, that
Yeah.
divine light that comes into us, splits
Yeah.
into the 7, and that would give us the different chakras, and that's the different.
The different colors
Yeah.
of the chakras.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it
right.
works like light. So
Yeah.
there's this theory of how everything in the universe or whatever is
Mm.
basically a holographic kind of thing. It's not
Mm.
like nothing's real. Everything's like a
Mm.
holographic projection. And
Yeah.
when you kind of come at it from that angle of white light turning into 7 and then seeing as colors,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think there's something to it. I think there's
Oh
something
yeah, no,
definitely to it.
totally. I totally get it. I mean, it's interesting what you say about the chakras. And I'm assuming. So I was thinking about the chakras earlier, and I'm thinking about you, in relation to the chakras,
Mm,
um, and basically because I know there's 7 chakras. I had a guy in India one time in Goa who was from Nepal.
mm,
He was a waiter at a restaurant. There's a lot of scams in India,
mm.
and it's always upsetting when it's coming from somebody that you actually built up a bit of a friendship
Yes.
or relationship with, and you see them not. You think they're very. He was. I'm not going to change my opinion on it, but he was quite sweet. But every time I used to go to this restaurant in Goa, have you been to Goa?
No, no.
Right, oh, okay. So I used to go to this restaurant in a place called Arambul, which is the real hippy dippy area in
Mm,
northern Goa, you know. And so he'd come up, his name is Buddy, yeah, but I think it's Buddy. And he'd say, hey, Damien, every day, there was just a nice, lovely, lovely energy about him. And he said, do you know about the 8th chakra? So next minute, he had me after work one night in a hotel, trying to give me this mysterious new chakra, like a new secret, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. So and then I went. So I'd heard about the 8th chakra, and then done a little bit of kind of looking at it. But and then I went off to Bangalore to see Satya. Do you know Satya Sai Baba?
Yes, I've heard of Sai Baba. He's the one with the crazy hair, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
passed away now. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went there. I thought, oh, I wanted to see a bit of India
Hmm.
outside uh, Goa.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you a funny story. I typed to you yesterday. Have you heard of the Gayatri mantra?
Yes, 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 yes.
Right.
Before you came up,
So
yeah.
basically, yeah. So I basically learned that here in this meditation course I was doing with this Japanese teacher that I was doing my spiritual stuff with.
Hmm.
So we'd learned that, and then a friend of mine from the class, she'd done a remix kind of musical version of it that made
Hmm.
it very hip, and it was just great to sit with headphones on in my nice chair that I had at the time. I had this really big throne chair,
Hmm.
which I kind of then got rid of to sold it to somebody. But I used to sit there listening to. If you listen to, so basically the Gayatri mantra is the highest mantra in Hinduism.
Gayatri. Gayatri
Yeah,
sounds familiar. I think
yeah.
it might be a surname, or I've seen that in a shop. Like there's a shop name called Gayatri, I think,
I,
that I've
it's
seen. But
it, it's also George Galloway's wife's name.
okay.
Just out of curiosity,
Yeah, yeah, that's a
you
nice
know,
little tidbit.
yeah, I talk about the cafe where I go for my coffee, and kind of there's a little bit of hobbob of us that go there.
Mm.
Um, so George Galloway owned that coffee shop. He had it as a vintage clothes shop, and then he sold it. And now it's a coffee shop. But his wife Gayatri, who used to be on, do you remember Russian Today? He had a program called Sputnik.
Oh yes, actually, yes, I did watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
wife, his wife, I think she's from the Philippines. She'd be
Mm.
on the sofa with him sometimes. So her name is Gayatri. But
Ah,
anyway, so
cool.
the Gayatri mantra is the highest mantra in
Hinduism.
Hinduism.
Yeah, I just had a quick Google of it, and it says that
Mm.
Gayatri is a name for the Divine Mother, she who protects her children and leads them towards self-realization.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So it's about the mother aspect of.
I didn't know what it was about, but I used to just listen to it a lot, and I knew it off by heart.
Tat
Really, was
Satifur Varanayam Bargo Devi,
the best
something like that.
Medina here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna butcher it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm a bit of a
But
coconut. I'm brown on the outside, white on the
oh,
inside.
okay. You gotta be careful. You don't get arrested for that. So, but the interesting thing was with the Gayatri Mantra. When the first time I went to India, it was very much on as part of what I was doing here in the spiritual stuff.
Hmm.
You know, and India just seemed kind of like a next level to kind of go there. I
Hmm.
didn't even really consciously think. I thought I just felt drawn to India basically,
Hmm.
and I got a boss. Um, I'll give you a bit of a tip. If ever you get a bus a long night, like a night bus
Hmm.
in India or somewhere like India, always get the bottom bunk.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Because if
do
you're
you
in the
end up
mid, yeah, if
pulling
you're in the
off?
middle or the top bunk, you just have absolutely no rest. So with the bottom bunk, you're just not flying around the place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that first journey, I didn't get the bottom boat, so it was a bit of a thing. And I basically went from Goa to Bangalore, which was, I think I went through Karnataka, but it goes right up,
Mm.
and there's in through the mountains
Mm-hmm.
in the nighttime, and I have never seen a starry sky like this in my life. Okay,
Oh, I bet.
it was just stunning, and it was just all these stars, but it was just it was just full on. It was like
Mm.
jewels just everywhere, and you could almost feel like you could reach out and touch them. It was
Ah, so
stunning. I've
cool.
never, yeah, it was so stunning. But what happened was, when I arrived in Bangalore, and I was very anxious, well, not anxious, but I was kind of nervous about I was on my own. I was nervous about going outside India, outside the safety of Goa, so to speak. And when I arrived into Bangalore, so they turn out the lights, through the night, and then they turn it on, when they arrive into Bangalore. First thing that hit me was the trucks, the Indian trucks.
Oh,
The
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
colorful trucks. I was like, wow, this is a bit of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but this is just like amazing. But as we turned on the radio came Om Bhurbhuvastaha, this Gayatri mantra.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
It came under it. And I just thought, how weird is that? And I took it as a confirmation that,
Hmm.
Damien, this is the universe supporting you, saying you're doing the right
You're
thing,
in the
you've
right
made the
place at the right time.
right
Yeah.
place at the right time, and all that. So that was an interesting thing. Yeah, but my friend, she believes. So we went through Genesis. She said, Damien, it says in the Bible there's a firmament.
Mm.
So I thought, I have to look this up, and I'd never heard about it before. It is in Genesis, God saying, I created a firmament to separate the waters
The
and
waters above from
the
the waters below. Yeah.
waters. And I said, the first thought after a few seconds of reading through that was, I thought, that's talking about, if I would class that as scientific proof,
Mm.
actually, in the Bible, it just stood out to me. That's talking about the ozone layer.
Okay. But there's a hole in
What
the ozone layer.
There is a whole what? Yeah, yeah. There is a whole. I know it is. Yeah, but when he's saying I've made something like a separation,
Mm.
um, I would kind of see that as science,
I,
kind of
I'd
scientific
say
thing.
if it was
Maybe
anything,
I'm wrong.
it'd be
Huh?
the atmosphere. Because the if you're in water, you're floating.
Yeah,
If you're in space, you're floating.
yeah.
And the thing that stops us from being sucked out into space and floating is the
It's
atmosphere.
gravity.
Oh, the gravity, but like it creates an atmosphere, and that's why you've got like the different bands of atmosphere. Like the lowest point where we are at the moment is
Mm.
completely different to like the stratosphere, the mesosphere, and all these other different layers. These different
Right.
layers
Okay. That would
that
make sense.
make up
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought it
Oh.
was just it was a wasn't firmament wasn't a physical thing. It wasn't this particular thing. It was just a way of saying that
Mm.
there's something that stops you from floating away in the waters
Right.
above, and there's
Yeah.
something that keeps you down in the waters below. I don't know.
Would,
That's where I
would,
read it.
but and you take that as an atmosphere?
Yeah, I
As
just
a, as
I just look at
a,
what we have and I go, okay, cool. It must be the atmosphere. I don't see a dome around us.
Sure, no, I don't believe there's a dome. I tried to say, Tracy, if there was a dome, that means no heat could escape. So we would burn to a cinder because everything would be so inside.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be nowhere to escape. But if the firmament, which is in Genesis, I need to go and do a bit more exploration. Um, if that was in the Bible, in Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
that's quite strong scientific stuff. I'd never heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of, do you think?
Uh,
That's whoever at the time was writing that. They say it's Moses. Then there's a debate about if it is Moses. But who in the time of Genesis, whenever Genesis was written, and obviously Genesis was written hundreds of years before Christ,
mm-hmm.
because it's the Torah, or it's part of the Torah, it's the Old Testament. So that means that whoever wrote that we're aware on some level. We're aware that there was something a separation.
Hmm.
But how could you be aware of that unless you had some kind of scientific knowledge?
The thing is, we definitely had scientific knowledge beyond our years back in the
What
day.
in the time?
Back in,
Right. Okay.
I think we've gone through a period of forgetting where we've lost a lot of ancient knowledge that we're
Yeah.
because like
Who's the
the,
guy that begins with A? Who's the guy that begins with A? That the things that Muslims are copying from him, that he would have known stuff, and Muslims are kind of, they seem to think Muslims are copying the Quran.
his name
Is that
begins with A.
A for Apple? I think it
Abraham
is.
or
No, the scholar, the like Alexander, like who's those big like Plato and all of those, Socrates,
Aristotle.
Aristotle. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think Aristotle was writing about embryology or
Okay,
something.
was he?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'm just grabbing out things here.
No, I know
Um,
Plato. I think it's Plato and Socrates. I think one of them's each other's teacher. I think Plato was a
right.
student.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Socrates was the teacher, but they talk
Hmm.
about going to the divine mystery schools in Egypt and learning everything they knew from there,
Oh,
and then they
really?
took
That's
it back to
interesting.
Greece.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Mm. Uh,
Um,
yeah, I was also going to say that as we look at ancient things, like you've got the pyramids, you've got these ancient architectures. There's that place in India, the Kailash Temple. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard it mentioned a few times.
It's basically a side of a
Recently.
mountain carved out, and
Yeah.
what's left behind is a temple. So
Right.
you could imagine that as you're carving out of the mountain, if you carve
Yeah.
something wrong,
Yeah.
you've messed it up. There's no way you can't go. All right, let's just stick
Okay.
that back
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Mm.
And the technology that they must have had to do it with such precision is insane. But
Mm.
we don't have that kind of technology to recreate these kind of things in the modern day. So
I think that's the big puzzle is like how precise, especially even with the pyramids,
mhm,
how precise it could be with certain things, and that we can't recreate it
not
today.
today.
Uh, Mount Kailash, is it in Srinagar or in Kashmir?
I want to say it's in Nepal. It's up in the mountains somewhere. Let me just Google it.
I think that's in Srinagar. I am aware of it. I think
Mountain
it's
in
in Kashmir.
China. It's on.
Is it?
It's along the borders of China and
Okay. We were both wrong.
China and yeah, India. China and India. It's on the border. It's right next to Nepal. Nepal, India, and China. But the
What
actual
actually
place
does
is
it?
in China.
Oh, it is actually in China
Yeah,
itself. Okay, right.
yeah. But
I've been.
that's where they say
Yeah.
that Shiva, like the Hindu
Okay.
god
Yeah.
Shiva,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where he
Yeah.
goes to chill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Does, does,
Everyone needs
does
somewhere
he
to
do?
chill. Everyone wants
That's
to hang
what I
out
was going
somewhere.
to say. Does he do a live stream? Just, just chilling. Just chilling. It's quite. It's quite funny because when you go to Varanasi,
Mm.
there's all these guys. You know the whole thing with smoking marijuana, it connects back to Shiva.
Yes, I've heard that recently. Yeah, someone told
Yeah,
me
it's
that.
really it's quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Um,
like, yeah, it makes sense because it is just a plant and it's nothing bad. I don't think it's bad.
no, yeah, no, well, I don't see. That's something I've smoked in the past,
Mm,
like years ago. But it doesn't agree with me, and I wouldn't judge somebody
mm.
for wanting to join it. That's and I think it's actually better than alcohol in the
Yeah, same.
longer
Yeah,
term
yeah.
on the body. You know what I mean?
Uh,
I think
th-
it's less problematic.
It's like any kind of
Um,
medication. If you had paracetamol and you had like 50 of them a day, it's gonna screw
mm,
up with your body. You know what I mean? It's gonna have
yeah,
some bad effect. So
okay.
it's always about moderation and trying to use it in the best way
Yeah,
possible for your growth,
yeah.
rather than.
I think. Sorry, I think as much as possible. Yeah, just being aware of uh, moderation of everything. Yeah, basically, you know what I mean.
Water.
I think
If you
that
drink too much water, you could drown.
really.
Yes, yes. I was gonna say I learned that the hard way as a joke, but
Funny actually. Well, we are 90% water, are we?
70.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think this is 70.
I just seen a video. No, I was on Nose's channel for a little while.
Oh, how's that going?
Well, I can't. I tend to scroll through a lot of his stuff because I'm not interested in these tutorials that he does. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that's just I just switch off to that. So I just see the conversation.
And a good conversation or just an okay
Yeah,
one?
JP was on it for 2 minutes, and then basically there was a video. He was doing a video that's 2 years old
Mm-hmm.
from Speaker's Corner, and that was Street Mike was filming him,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how he got it. Whatever. But anyway, he had a copy of this video, and Street Mike was trying to interview him. So it was a bit of a barney between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Knowles sent Street Mike a letter, and he didn't reply within 28 days. And normally it's 28 days, and I was thinking, no, that's for the invoice. That's your time to pay a bill. You got 28 days. So he was doing that, and then, but you were there
Oh, was
in
I?
your mask. Yeah,
Oh.
you were initially in the little part of the you were in the standing beside him,
Mm.
and then you said to him, so you had the red
Mask, yeah, the
red
devil
mask
mask,
up,
yeah.
and then you moved a bit down the fence, and you had a sign. Was it something about Satan?
Yeah, welcome to the Church of Satan.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was to show, because when I first came to Speaker's Corner, I just came as me. I turned
Yeah.
up and I just wanted to have conversations. When I spoke to the
Mm.
Muslims, they'd start talking to me, but as soon as they realized that I wasn't eating the shit, they
Yeah.
started going, "Oh, well, you're just not intellectual enough," or they're just basically ad hominem
But actually,
me.
the opposite is true.
Well, I am a little stupid, but I'm not
That's
that
you.
stupid.
No, no, but that's what I'm saying. The opposite is true, meaning they're not intellectually enough. That's the point I'm making. That
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not questioning and thinking, "Oh, sorry, what's the lady?" Don't get me wrong. I could find loads of issues with the Bible.
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's no way I would just kind of take that hook, line, and sinker. And I think Jay Smith.
Jay Smith, no.
Yeah, he's that American Christian preacher with the white hair and the beard. Very connected with Hatu and Tash.
Let me just Google him then.
Yeah, you do know him. He's an author as well. Very strong
Yes,
Christian.
yeah, I've seen him around. Yeah,
Yeah. But he basically, so he does a lot with Hatu and Tash on her channel, DCI Ministries.
I don't watch any
And
of her stuff.
Do you know? Okay.
No.
And I like Hatu and Tash. I think, my God, she's been through the mill.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? She's been paid out twice from the police, £10,000,
Wow.
because of how they
Handled the case.
how they handle the case, and I kind of think rightly so. So I mean, it's just now. I tell you, this is what I was going to say to speak to you about. Now Shalini,
Yes.
right? Now I don't agree with what she does
Me
in
neither.
the sense of how she does it.
Mhm.
I think you're just being offensive for the sake of being offensive. And she does it with a smirk on her face.
Mhm.
She
knows what she's
likes the attention.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing, but she likes the attention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She was arrested. Well, I think maybe barred from the park one day. It was very funny because it's all the guys from the Arab Emirates, the young guys from Qatar and Kuwait, and they surround her, and they kind of goad her, but it's quite playful to some degree. So there was a point one day she was there a few months ago, and they started throwing £50 notes.
What?
Yeah.
No
Wouldn't
way.
it be great? Yeah, wouldn't it be great to be in that kind of position? And she basically kept the £50 notes, and she was arrested for keeping the money under a tent, something like that. Anyway,
Well, if
so
they've thrown it at her, then it's
well, you know what I mean. So the police came and they took her away. And so there's a video of it on YouTube.
Oh, that's
And,
hilarious. I like that.
Yeah. And she said, "Well, they're trying the money, blah, blah, blah." Now, I do feel she gets a lot out of what she's doing, and I'm not talking spiritually or religiously.
No, I was gonna say it's definitely not spiritually.
You know what I mean? So, but what I tell you, the thing it's interesting how one thing can show you or trigger a mirror of something else.
Mm,
And I find the reaction to her, even though I wouldn't agree with what she's doing, I think, sorry, this is just not on. Come on.
mm,
You can make your point, make your disagreement, but just don't quite, you're just out of your way, using the P word all the time. We don't know. We have a debate on text, fine, but, and I mean, that argument has kind of been done to death, and the Shias say that Aisha was a lot older.
mm.
Do you know what I mean? She is believed she was in her 20s. I find it a very funny argument that comes up on the Sunni side saying, as a defense, saying, well, she was previously engaged.
Oh.
Have you heard that?
Yes, yeah, because I've heard that she was meant to be married to someone else, and then Muhammad was like, "I'd rather marry her," and then that engagement was
I think
broken off, and
I
it
think
was
it
given to
was
him.
Bukhari. Bukhari was,
Yeah, it's
I
from the
think,
Hadith
her
somewhere.
father. And it's like, well, she was already engaged. I said, she's a child. You know what I mean? And I kind of have my kind of thinking is, a child is always a child,
Mhm.
no matter whether we're talking thousands of years ago or today. A child's a child, and they've just moved the goalpost, saying this, that, and the other to justify and explain it away. Any reasonable person would know that's wrong. And my kind of thinking, to cut it into a nutshell, and I'm coming more of it from my own experiences now,
Mhm.
is that I don't believe God would have communicated in a massive way to a man who is behaving in that way.
I'm gonna
If
play
that makes
devil's
sense.
advocate here.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the youngest age in America
Hmm.
was 11 years old
Yeah, I've
for
heard a lot
legal
of these
marriage.
arguments.
So
Yeah,
if we are going to go, yep, Muhammad's a pedophile, blah 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 blah,
yeah.
then we have to go
Hmm.
and say that the founders of America were all pedophiles too.
I think you have to be careful using that word
Yeah, you're right. You're
on
right. I will call it
on the
PDF.
stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, PDF.
yeah,
Download. I'm gonna upload or download me PDF because I noticed this on a lot of streams when
yeah.
they're
No,
trying to
that's
and
you have
they
to.
say
No,
that.
good shout, good shout.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in
Um,
America, they had 11 years old, so that's not too far off 9 years old. And then I also
and
have.
also and Mary as well. Jesus' mother was between, according to Christian scholars,
Mhm.
Mary was between 12 and 14.
Well, that's another thing as well, is the fact that as we go further and further back in time, there
Hmm.
was no like America at 11 years old doing that 11-year-old
Yeah,
thing. America's
yeah.
only 300 years old, so
Sorry, say that again.
I think America's only 300 years old. So America,
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. That's why they're so insecure.
but the fact that in the last 300 years they would have had
Mm.
a age of consent of 11, but then
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
when you look at the desert place, Saudi Arabia, whatever it's called, um,
Mm.
1600 years ago, 1600 years ago, and they're like, oh, how
Mm.
dare you do this? It's like, no, wait, look, if we're going to be consistent, you don't
Yeah,
just
no, I agree. I do
point
agree
at
with you.
the one
Yeah,
that,
I agree with
because
consistency. Yeah,
before Islam came about, there was no actual age. There was no legal age
yeah,
in Christianity. Christianity doesn't say, oh, this is how old you need to be or anything like that. And I
yeah.
think that a lot of times, and I think this is so true, that a lot of times back then kids grew up faster, where it wasn't always about childhood, it was about the survival
Yeah,
aspect. And they,
yeah. I mean, this is the argument Muslims use, but I still would come back to, yeah. Yes, I'm not coming from that time frame, but I still think a child is a child, irrespective of
I
whether
understand
3,000.
that. I'm going to add another layer to it.
Yeah.
Most animals have
Mm.
a life cycle where they're born, they go through a
Mm.
mating period, and then they die.
All right.
And
Okay.
typically, the mating period is indicated by certain changes in the body
Mm.
in all the animal kingdom. And
Okay.
the same thing is true for humans. We have a thing called puberty, where when you start going through that, you're going through the changes needed to then be able to.
Yeah, I get. I can't. I hit, and that is the argument that's used a lot
Oh, is
from
it?
Muslims.
Okay.
Well, that's if the body is going through that change,
Mm.
that must be okay.
Mhm.
But my kind of thinking is that we know better. You know,
I
we
know,
know a
I
child.
agree. There's a higher level of thinking, but it's just
Do you know what I mean?
back then.
Yeah.
It's always about putting
Oh no,
things in
I do.
context.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I do agree.
Yeah,
I do
back
agree.
then where they didn't have the same understanding, where the kids couldn't just be kids for the next 20 years. Like I'm a
Yeah,
grown kid at 36. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm still a kid.
yeah.
I haven't grown up yet. Whereas back
Well,
then they would have
do you
had
know?
to.
I don't know if you've heard the argument, Dylan. One of the arguments that they use as defense at Speaker's Corner, and you see it on videos,
Mhm.
is that just because you're a child, adults, there's a verse about Aisha
Mhm.
playing with dolls,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yeah.
And they say, but some adults play with dolls. I'm like, seriously now?
Yeah.
You're being really disingenuous. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
where's my toy? Well, I've got my toy in my hand. I'm playing with this at the moment as we speak.
Right.
It's
Oh,
it,
that's not the thing that massage. Oh
no,
no,
no, no,
is it?
no. It's just
Right.
a bunch of circles that
Yeah, yeah,
kind of wrap up like this by themselves. But then when you
yeah.
do that,
Oh
it
wow.
it creates a toroid. That's the shape of a magnetic field. So if this was north and that was
Right.
south, and that's the
Hmm.
magnetic field. So it's like a physical representation of what a magnet does. So if the magnet was in the middle,
Okay. Yeah.
the
Right. Okay.
it's just a
What?
little
How?
science toy that I got myself because I like stupid things. But
There's some. There's something like that in India. They sell it along the beaches everywhere in Goa, and it's got the points at the end. It's a massager for
yeah,
the
yeah,
head.
yeah. I've
You
seen that.
see
It's
that?
like the claw. Yeah,
Yeah. With
yeah,
the claw. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And it's a really, really pretty nice feeling. Actually, I have to say. Um, yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. But now Jay Fu's a nice guy,
Mm.
but I kind of just couldn't. I kind of didn't know where to go yesterday. Do you know what I mean? I was just kind of
Which part
bit.
of the conversation?
Well, it it was kind of most. Look, he's really he's a nice guy, you know. And now maybe a lot of that is probably down to the fact that I'm not
Hmm.
academically knowledgeable once you go right into the stuff. So he was going off in places I just thought I can't really understand what it is the point you're trying to make.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if that makes sense, you know, I think you know.
No,
So
I did
it
notice
was,
at one point. That's why I explained the whole choice thing. Where he was trying to say that you don't have a choice, but I explained in the way that is that he what he means is that the choice is you're offered, but you're never offered
yeah,
something else because
yeah, you
it's only
did,
the choices
but
you're given. Hmm.
yeah, but I agree with you in the sense of, you know, here's my day today, the man. Just to show, I had coffee with a friend of mine, Gabrielle, who I had coffee with yesterday.
Mm.
She's so lovely. She's just so on so many levels. Do you know what I mean? You'd be blown away by her. Do you
Mm.
know that kind of way?
Mm.
And she's an amazing artist, but she
Yes, I remember
suffers.
you saying
She's
yeah. She paints.
but she's yeah, I mean, amazing stuff that she does. If you just look at it, wow, come on,
Mm.
seriously, this is out there, yeah. And but she suffers with mental health, you
Mm.
know. You know, she kind of periodically kind of has to go into the section. But when you see her, you wouldn't know
So
anything
go into
about
what?
have a section. You know, she's been under
Oh
section
wow. Oh, okay.
a few
That bad.
times, yeah. Yeah, but you wouldn't know to look at her. You know, she's
Hmm.
very smart. She's very articulate. She's very personable. She's just everything. She's just very, very lovely. She's just like this butterfly that's just floating around you, going, "Oh, shall we do this? Let's go here. Oh, Damien, I love you. I really enjoy your company." Blah 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 blah. Blah.
Hmm.
And I'm the same. It's a bit very much the mutual appreciation society when we're together. You know. So, but I really value her, and I kind of you know, I bet you know I really I have a high value up for her
Hmm.
as a friend. But what was I going to say about today? So I met her today. Oh yeah. So basically, we're very good at kind of looking at the positives and kind of you know and not beating ourselves up and kind of supporting the other
Hmm.
to say, well, let's look at it this way. I
Yeah.
was kind of a little like I was saying to Jay Fu yesterday. You know, I'm more of a glass half full type of
Yeah,
guy.
rather than half
And then
empty. Yeah.
and I kind of thought Jeffrey was like he wants my change, and I want to kind of sometimes I explore with him, and like, what is the change you want? I think there's
Mm.
always been problems, and people have always had a discontentment, no matter what time frame of the living world we've been in. There would have
Mm.
always been some people saying, complaining. People would have been
Yeah.
complaining about the Romans crucifying people. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's a
So
valid complaint.
it's valid, but most people, but as I say, all complaints are valid,
Yeah.
but relative.
Yes.
Do you know
Yes.
what I mean? But
Yeah.
relative,
Yeah.
So there's a great book actually. Are you a reader, Damon?
Not a big reader. No, I like a good storybook, but I can't
Right.
sit there for hours reading something that's just pure
No, not no,
text,
okay. I'm talking about non-fiction. If
non-fiction.
you get if it's something like if it's not if you have a subject of an interest you have and there's something a book somebody writes about it
It'd
in a
have to be
really
a
good
really
way,
interesting subject, and it'd
right?
have to be a really good book. Which one are you
Okay.
thinking?
So it's a book called Zealot. I read it in
Zealot.
2 days. I couldn't put it down. And it's written by a guy called Reza Aslan, who's a Muslim scholar. He converted. He's Iranian.
Mm-hmm.
He converted to Christianity and then he converted back to Islam. And it was very famous. It was about 10 years ago. It was very famous when his book came out. He was interviewed on I'm not sure if it was Fox News, one of the big American channels by this woman journalist by video link. And he was really calm, very humble, and she just basically was really unpleasant to him and basically saying, "Who do you think you are as a Muslim
To write
to
about
think that
Jesus.
to write about Jesus?" And he just sat there really calm. And he said, "Excuse me, I have X amount of PhDs in religious studies." You know
It's
what I
got
mean?
nothing to do with
And
being a Muslim. It's just the
it's nothing to
PhDs.
do with he wasn't, and he didn't show any emotional reaction to it.
Hmm.
It was just like, "No, I'm saying it as it is,"
He's heard it a
and
few times. He's heard it a
do you
few
know what I mean?
times. Yeah.
And he said to her, "Sorry, have you read my book?" Like this. Anyway, that clip of her and him
Mm.
went viral.
Mm.
The clip went viral because she made herself look so stupid to
Mm.
kind of come out with that kind of a comment
Mm.
that, basically, like you said, that just because I'm a Muslim, that I can't make a commentary on something else. You know what I mean? But the book was brilliant. It's called Zealot. Yeah,
Yeah, I've just googled it. Yeah, Zealot,
yeah,
the life and time of Jesus Christ. Oh,
yeah.
Jesus
So
of
basically,
Nazareth. Mm.
yeah, it's basically, and it's not so much of it's not really religious on about Jesus so much. It's more about the environment because when you read the Bible,
Mm.
it's written in a particular way. Do you know what I mean? But they're all books added together. It's quite disjointed.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
what
You
the
don't get
what the
an
Bible
understanding of the cultural, social
that
aspects
that
of it. It's just purely
that's basically
this
yeah
happened, that
yeah
happened.
yeah yeah. And so his book basically what it does is it gives you a very in-depth um, understanding of what the place was like at the time,
Hmm. Hmm.
and just everything about the culture,
Mm.
and and that about people who you walk along the road and you see crosses everywhere
Hmm.
because it was such a normal thing, crucifixion
Hmm.
for the Romans as a
Yeah, it was
punishment.
just standard punishment. It wasn't just Jesus.
It was
Jesus wasn't the
it was
first or the last.
do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it was that, and basically also that there were so many people saying they were the Messiah.
Oh,
You
was
know,
there?
yeah, there was a lot of people saying they were the Messiah,
Mm.
and I've seen in a few different places saying that at the time you wouldn't be killed for that.
Oh.
A lot of people were claiming that, so you wouldn't be killed for that. So they say he was killed for claiming to be the king of the Jews.
Mm.
And it was the Jews that had him killed, even though it was the Romans that did it. It was the Jews. I think were the ones that orchestrated it.
That's what I've heard in the story is that
Yeah,
the Jews are upset at the Romans because the Romans are like, listen, he's not done anything wrong. We're going to let him go. And the Jews are like, look, we'll pay you or whatever. Just get rid of him kind of thing. But I don't know
that's
how
what
true
it
that
is.
is because
Yeah,
history is written by the
probably.
victors. And especially
Yeah.
the Bible is written by the people who want to push the narrative of Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So I hope it's true in the sense that nobody's lying. And I understand how, like I said to you the other day, there's different groups of Jews. Just because one group of Jews does something
Absolutely.
doesn't tarnish
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire group. It just means that that particular group were
Mm.
afraid of losing power.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a power. I think it was a power thing. I mean, I think Jews. I think Jews believe that the Solomon's Temple
Hmm.
is under the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
The Temple Mount thing. Yeah.
Yeah, under the Temple Mount, under the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Yeah.
So the Jews believe that's under there, that second temple, which is interesting. What was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, it's a completely. You have all these different, people. Have you read much of the Quran?
Just bits and pieces. It was mainly me going to Speaker's Corner, and then the Muslims would tell me the bits that they want to tell me, and then the Christians would say, "Oh, don't talk to the Muslims," and they'd tell me the bits that they wanted me to know. So
Yeah,
I'd learn
yeah,
from them what they want to push and what they want you to know before you go towards speaking with them. So I know the bad stuff and the really good stuff. Nothing in between.
Do you think? I think Islam is dying.
You reckon?
I do. No, I don't. I do. There'll always be Islam. Do you know what I mean? But I do see the signs, and I'll tell you one of the places I see the signs is in the online, EF Dawa.
Mm-hmm.
So they have this new thing called the Dawa Clinic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So for Muslims who are
Unsure.
having a crisis
Yeah, yeah,
of faith,
yeah.
let's put the pastors on and do a bit of triage surgery. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
this is why I found it hilarious when you mentioned it yesterday, I believe. You watched back my conversation with them or something, and they were like, "Oh no, we're already at the top of the mountain," and I was like, "No, you're not, because if you were, you wouldn't have these people coming to you saying, I've lost my faith for a minute." It's like, no, if you're at the top of the mountain, you have faith because you.
Yeah.
No, it's not about.
I struggled with the mountain analogy a little bit. I was getting a little bit into the conversation that I kind of got that you meant the God was the mountain.
No, the mountain wasn't God. The mountain was the struggle. So to get to the struggle, you could go down the river, you could go through the forest, you could go through the desert. So the desert would be equivalent to walking through life without any spiritual direction. And then the forest would be that you've got some shelter, you've got some kind of shelter, whether it be through Christianity, Islam, or whatever. You've got some kind of protection to protect you from the sun or the rain or whatever. Or then if you go down by the river, maybe that's like the Sufi mysticism. That's the direct path. It's like it's going to take you right up to the foot of the mountain. So there's all these different ways to get to the mountain. But once you get to the mountain, everyone has to climb it the same way. But it depends on how much you're prepared along the way to the mountain. And then once you get up the mountain, it's about the journey, about making that connection with God and having that relationship with God. It's not just about saying, "Oh, look, there's a mountain, God exists." No, it's about actually.
I have to be honest, and I hope you appreciate me being honest. I'm still lost. Sorry, the man. I think you'd rather me say that, wouldn't you?
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I still couldn't understand. So take the mountain. Tell me, can you give me a second till I just get my bottle of water?
Yeah, no problem. No, grab it.
I'm absolutely dying with thirst.
I'll have a drink as well. Oh, we're talking mountains. I love a good analogy. Unless you're on the Dawa channels, they don't like analogies. They don't understand what analogies are. They end up trying to make it fit perfectly, which is just silly.
Okay. Hold the thought about the mountain, Dylan.
Yeah.
I'll just go back to the story I was going to tell you about my friend today.
Oh yes, Gabriella.
Gabriella. But so basically, I got all this stuff yesterday to sell on eBay. It's all damaged. I told you.
China. Yeah.
But I know it will sell because I know what I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I paid about £50 for it. I put the potential there for £200,
Decent.
even though everything was damaged. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
know I've done this before. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so basically I had the stuff. Um, but in the morning time, that I find the morning time, the negative head is more powerful when I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I find in the evening I can kind of go into a bit more of an equilibrium
Mm-hmm.
within myself that
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with. So basically, I thought, oh God, the dishes are still in the sink from last night. I have to take the dishes out in order to wash all the stuff that I bought
Mm-hmm.
to one, to make sure they're all clean before I picture them,
Mm-hmm.
and two, to see if there's any other issues that are not they got more obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But the negative head is there's that negative part to me is like, oh, just get out, get and have a coffee, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't do that. Do you know
Oh,
what I mean? So I
smart.
got off
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, Damien, just I didn't turn on the radio or any music. Sometimes it's just nice having the quiet and the peace, you know. So basically, then I came in and I done the dishes. Then I washed all the stuff, and then I think the other issue was that if I don't get the natural daylight,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really get good pictures on my phone.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You,
Yeah, the
you see what I mean?
daylight's better than anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If I use kind of the lighting in the flat, like the bulb
Bulbs. Yeah,
lighting,
it's not gonna.
it doesn't really kind of look good on the images. So I had that all in mind that I had to do that and I had to do that first, etc., etc.,
Mm-hmm.
etc., in order to blah blah blah. So I did all that and I got all the pictures. And one of the things I bought, I thought, oh my god, that's not damaged. I thought it was might have been, and then when I washed it all, it just came off and it was stunning.
Ah, wicked.
But there is a lot of damage. So that was I knew. I mean, I was expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
For this. So I think, and then so I did that. I done my pictures. Then I went out and had to get some bits of food. So I had a coffee, and then Gabrielle came around. Then another friend of mine came along. This Muslim girl I know, Aru. She's very sweet, and she's very strict on certain. She's only
Mm-hmm.
young, you know, and she's beautiful. She's like a supermodel, but she wears the hijab and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's absolutely stunning, stunningly beautiful. And so she sat and basically said she'd been mugged
Oh,
on Sunday. Yeah,
oh,
on
damn.
Sunday that she was mugged in Wilson, and they took and she physically in front of everybody. They took her bag and her laptop was in, her phone, her money, everything, just everything was taken. So she said to me, "Can you buy me a coffee, and I'll give you the cash
Mm-hmm.
because the cafe only take cards. They don't take cash."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Fine, that's fine." And then so basically, so we had a chat about that, and she asked me what anyway, it doesn't really matter if I give her, transfer something. She was going to transfer money into my bank, and I just didn't want to give her my bank details. Like, I don't know her that well. You know what I mean? I mean, I know her enough to kind of make a judgment and think, oh,
Mm-hmm.
they probably be fine. She had an access because she had no cards because she's waiting for new stuff to come from the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can get onto my banking, on the phone, my online banking. I can transfer money into your account. Can you then take it out of your account and give it back to me,
Mm-hmm.
rather than me having to? I said, Aruj, I'm sorry, but I just don't want to start getting into people having my bank details.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
don't
kind
think
of felt a
that
bit,
I don't think there's anything bad when you're paying in money. The account
yeah,
details you need are different in regards to
yeah.
taking out money.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're right. Yeah, but I think the issue is that, man, this girl's a nice guy. She also has mental health issues, even though you wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
particularly pick up on it at the beginning, but you would after a few minutes. She's quite very emotional,
Mm-hmm.
but she's very sweet. I like her. She's very authentic,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I like her. Do you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean? So even in her pain, she's very real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so basically, she had asked me for my phone number before a few months ago, and I had said I don't like giving out my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of thought to me saying to I don't like giving out my phone number, she then asking me for my bank details. Do you see where my head's going? Anyway, that's the kind of separation. It's like So she went off anyway. She rang her bank, and I said, "Rouge, get the 4 o'clock is finished the bank, so
Mm.
otherwise you're going to be without money for until whatever." But the point about it was, it's the negative head, and this is what me and my friend were talking about. Was I could so easily have just put things off. So I am a procrastinator,
Mm.
but because I done what I needed to, because I didn't listen to that negative, the head,
Yeah,
and I just thought, no,
because you got
Damien,
on with it. Yeah.
I just got on with it. Didn't need to have music and or do anything in the relationship. It was just in the piece.
Hmm.
I just got on with it, washed, done the dishes, washed the stuff I needed to wash, then went and had my coffee, walked down the market with my friend, got a tiny little bit of shopping and forgot potatoes, the main thing for the meal. I got a pizza for tonight. I had a
Oh,
pizza,
nice.
five pound pizza, better than £20
Ooh.
delivery.
Yeah.
So I got one of these wood oven pizzas, and then I came back and had a bath and a shave. Obviously, better after a shave. I really struggled with getting shaved, but once I've had a shave and a bath, it really lifts my mood.
Hmm. Hmm.
My friend calls me steptoe. you know, steptoe.
Yeah, steptoe and son, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So so basically, then I came back and then I started to just slowly start to list my items. Now I've listed for them already within an hour. Well, let me have a look. The last one had 4 watchers, so they, I know the
How long do you
items.
I'm guessing you're using eBay. How long do you leave them up for?
7 days.
7 days. Cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
and they there's no doubt. I'll probably get some commentary, messages about right. So I've got so this one thing, it's got five watching it,
Hmm.
and I've only listed it in the last 3 hours. But so it's all tag words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Under the search, and they catch them. So um, and it's nice, but no. So I mean, so the point about it is, I think I'm making the man is you probably might be more stronger and motivated naturally than me, but I have to really push myself.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm just the same. It takes me a while to get going. The thing is, I need to. I don't want to say I need motivation. It's more of a,
Mm.
you set your priorities. As soon as you wake up, you're like,
Yeah.
"Alright, this is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. This is the most
Yeah,
important
yeah,
thing."
and I do that, do the same. Yeah, so,
Yeah, so it just depends on the day what the priorities are. Like some people might be like, "Oh, why didn't you do that?" It's like, no, because I had to focus on this other thing that I really had to deal with. And it's like,
yeah,
to someone, it might be like, "Oh, yeah, do you know what? That other thing is more important to them." But I'm
mm,
like, no, to me, this other thing. So for me, like, I I put my mental health first, my mental health and my spiritual
absolutely, yeah,
health,
yeah. I
and
totally,
then anything
absolutely
in the
agree.
physical world comes well after.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, totally agree. Yeah,
I
I
focus on that first rather than the physical things, and that's why when like my room's a bit of a mess at the moment, it's
uh,
because I'd rather focus on the mental and the spiritual.
yeah. I think what I would say about that is, um, I don't like leaving things. Sometimes I'd be embarrassed to say how much I can leave things go. Things
Mm-hmm.
like cleaning the bathroom. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And there is a point, where I kind of my mood can really especially if I've got something else that's going on that's causing me a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
have I'm a very, very, very unpleasant. Do
Mm-hmm.
you get me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, above me. Yeah,
yeah.
from hell, the demonic.
Oh, bad, that bad.
Yeah, yeah, not bad. Yeah, and can't leave me alone. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. So that can that my I can have terrible. That could just really play, and it gets under your skin, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just that drip thing, and you're waiting for the next. Do you know what I mean? On
Mm-hmm.
top of your head. So anyway, so that can be effective, but it's it's something I missed. I was told that I moved in, but uh, so but yeah. So basically, I tried to just cut. For me, it's about getting out of the flat.
Yes.
That's one of the biggies, and so it'll be just going for the coffee, and I meet like loads of people, so that'll be a thing. But that's part of my mental health
No,
thing.
for
And
sure.
Damien,
Yeah.
it's very important to get out here,
Yeah.
and
Fresh air, just a new scenery, a new set of
and
thoughts.
connecting, and just connecting with people.
Yes. Yes. So important.
Man, just give me a second because I have to get the charger for the
No
laptop.
worries. While you do that, I'm gonna play a song and I'm gonna go grab my smokes. So
Okay, yeah,
we'll
good.
be both
Wait,
back.
wait, wait. All right, yeah, go
We'll
on.
both be
Okay,
back
I
in a
want to
couple of
hear.
minutes, but the screen will be here,
Is
but
this one of
no
yours?
one can see
Is
us.
this one of your songs?
Oh yeah, one of my songs. Oh, you want
All
to
right, I
listen
want to
to
hear
it?
it. Yeah. Well, give me 2 seconds. I'll just
Cool,
plug
cool,
out.
cool,
Then
cool.
when you go off and do your thing, I'll be listening to it.
Perfect. Alrighty, so we're gonna listen to one of my songs. Let's see, which one should we go with? Let's go with Winter. Is anyone in the chat? I was about to ask the chat if anyone has any particular favorites. Oh, we've got one person in chat. One ninja watching. Is there any particular song that you like from my repertoire? My repertoire. Such a cool word, repertoire. Yeah, if there's any particular song that you know that I've made that you like, drop it in the chat. If not, I'm gonna pick the one that I've made recently. Alrighty.
Sorry, the man. Yeah, go on.
You're good. You're good. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna play one of the most recent ones I've made. It's called Winter.
Is it you singing or is it
No,
just
no.
musical?
It's just me making the lyrics and trying to find the right tune to go with it. To have a listen. Tell me what you think afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay.
Wide, stars aglow, the moon's soft guide. Winter's breath chills the air, snowflakes dance and swirl. Crystal skies and frosted dreams, ready to take on the world. Winter wonderland, free and wild. I see my soul in your smile. Snowmen grinning, hearts aglow. With your love, I'll never let go. I'll never let go. Shadows fall, light softly gleam. Footprints trace a frozen stream. Whispers float on icy winds. Hope ignites the night. Hand in hand we face the cold, wrapped in love's warm light. Winter wonderland, free and wild. I see my soul in your smile. Snowmen grinning, hearts aglow. With your love, I'll never let go. Through the frost and falling snow, our hearts beat as one. Every step a memory made underneath the winter sun. Winter wonderland, free and wild. I see my soul in your smile. Snowmen grinning, hearts aglow. With Dawn draws near, springtime blooms and wipes away fear.
Wow, the man. Wow. Hold on, you have to turn on. You've turned off your mute.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for that.
Wow, that's pretty wow.
You like that, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, tell me about it, and then I'll tell you something in relation to it. Yeah, go on.
It's just a song about enjoying winter, appreciating the
Sorry,
moments.
did you put the right? Yeah, go on.
No, sorry. What was the question?
Sorry, did you create the music?
No, I used a AI thing to make the backing track and the vocals, but I just do the lyrics, and then I give it a prompt. I tell it I feel like a reggae, and I want it a bit funky with a guitar, and then it kind of creates it based on what I said.
What about copyright?
No, copyright's all good. Copyright's all good.
So that's all yours.
It's all mine.
Okay, so that is stunning. I have to say, listening to that was I know my music. Do you know what I mean? I tell you what it is. I have a very close friend. Okay, and I meet him about twice a week. He's got 2 recording studios. Okay, he's a music producer. He's very unassuming looking. Yeah, he's absolutely where he's married. He's very funny. He's a really funny guy. He's married. He's got a couple of children. His mother-in-law got dementia. Okay. Now she was originally from Spain, but lived in England all her life. You know, had her family and her children in England, so spoke fluent English. But when she didn't, we do laugh about it. Sometimes you just have to see the funny side of it.
Yeah.
And the whole thing. She's in some kind of institution now, but she's in her 80s. But she would be brought back to the house by the police. There was a stage where,
wow.
typical dementia, they don't know what to do. But they had to get a care home because what happened was she lost the ability to understand or speak English with the dementia.
Oh.
So she reverted to only Spanish, understanding Spanish. After years of living and speaking English. So you have to just recognize them. So they had to find a care home where there were Spanish speaking things. So they've got her in somewhere now.
Oh, that's good.
So we're the he's just such a nice guy. He's just one of these people. He's so down to earth, easy going, and we have such a laugh. We really have a giggle.
Yeah.
So where our coffee shop is, it's opposite a cottage.
This coffee shop is packed. You're meeting all the people here at this coffee shop.
Yeah. I tell you who comes in a lot. You know Ruby Wax?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so she comes in, and there's a few other people that. So it's only small, it's only tiny little place. So, but it's opposite a cottage, which I've never used. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even go in. I wait like a home because it's nearby. But whenever I arrive, you go, Damien, I've been watching the toilet, and not one person has given me a look. It's just banter. It's just he's totally straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just have this banter. But he comes up to, so he works with Apple.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got contracts.
Apple Music, yeah.
Apple Music, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. He does. He's got a team of people that work with him. I think he's got about 3 people, and then he's got other people that do write for him. You know, like songwriters and stuff like that. And so he produces the music for a lot of the Apple adverts, or some of the Apple adverts. Yeah. So he's got contracts with Apple, and he also works with independent artists. And sometimes he'll come along and he say, "I'm really struggling, Damien. I'm trying to do this. I've got a time, I've got a time limit." And he'd ask me, "Would I listen to something to get my feedback?" He trusts my opinion. So, and sometimes we sit with somebody from Ed Sheeran's team.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, because Ed Sheeran has a restaurant.
Oh, does he?
The road
no way. Okay. Yeah. I like his music.
So he,
His music's good.
he's, and he's just very, very down to earth. You know, he's a very. I've never met him, but somebody. I won't go into details what it is, but one of his personal team, basically, who goes on tour with him, works with him on his when he's touring, comes into the coffee shop. Do you know what I mean? And was about the day, but he bought this guy, the homeless guy, loads of stuff.
Oh,
Remember I was telling you?
the guy who always got that look in his eye.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this guy, the Ed Sheeran guy, bought him. Said, "Do you need some food? Can I get you this? Can I get you that?" Yeah. So he's very. He has that kind of recognition of other people, which is
Hmm.
nice. So but so we all sit and chat. But Alistair, I'm kind of pally with. But so he works with individual artists, um, and he's just very good at what he does. But he trusts my opinion on things.
Hmm.
But that is very good.
Thank you.
But no, 100%. I would. I'm not very good at lying.
No, I like
Do you
that.
know what I mean?
I like that.
I think that's called Asperger's syndrome.
Oh, is it? I think I've got that too then.
Yeah. Well, I think people who can't lie. I think yeah. I find I struggle with lying. Um. So, but that I just everything about that is so good.
Oh, I
So
appreciate it.
I'll probably see him uh, next week.
Mm.
I would imagine, and I might. Is it on your channel?
It's
to
all on my
find
YouTube.
it?
Yeah, it's all on my YouTube channel. It's either on this one or I've got another one which is called or do I've forgotten the name already. It's called raising frequencies, praising frequencies.
Is
So
that a song?
that's a separate channel. I've got praising frequencies. That one is just
Okay.
dedicated for the music only. This channel has the
How do
music
you,
and my live streams.
how does your other channel do?
It's got 12 subscribers.
Right.
It's very
Okay.
slow, but it is what it is. I don't do it for the subscribers or anything. It's just all the songs that I've tried to create. If I've got a few different subcategories. I've got the righteous path, so there'll be
Right.
things that are like God's got me. That's one of my here. I think I've got that here. We'll play a bit of it, and you could just
Mm.
no, I haven't got God's got me. So I've got hope. So this is one of the righteous path songs.
Yeah, I've been through the shadows, walked in the night, seen the world get heavy, try to crush my light. The hope keeps burning deep in my soul, the flame that won't fade, yeah, it keeps me whole. When life gets rough and the clouds roll in, hope is the anchor that pulls me again. In the darkest of times, when all seems lost, hope breaks through no matter the cost. Hope never dies, it shines through the pain, through every storm, every drop of rain. When the world goes dim and I'm down to my knees, hope lifts me up, sets my spirit free. They say light can't shine.
So that one is more about like the hope aspect of the righteous path. It's like regardless of what's going on in your life, if you have
Always
that
have
hope,
hope.
it will lift
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah.
So I
And
use
basically never give up, isn't it?
exactly. So
Really.
the righteous
Yeah.
path songs are typically about that. Then I've got the love aspect, which is love of life, love of God, love of everyone, and that would be songs like
You're writing in categories. You're working in the categories.
just 2 or 3 subcategories. It's just
Right. Okay. Yeah.
it's just the kind of vibe I want to go for, because like I said, it's not about getting the subs or anything. It's just about making music that people can listen to if they are trying to go down the righteous path, that gives them that little oomph that they need.
Yeah. I like the first part at the beginning. It's quite rappy, isn't it?
Yes,
The
yeah.
beginning of the
So
song,
I have a
What's the-
variation. I go rap, I go reggae, I go like poppy. There's all because I can choose which genre I want to make the song as.
Yeah.
I try and pick all the different types of genres that I might like listening to, and I try and make songs for those. But I could do it for any genre, to be honest.
Okay. So when I went into the rap, I kind of switched. Not switched off, but I kind of thought, "Oh, this couldn't be really me." Do you know Anthony and the Johnsons?
No, I've not heard of them.
the singer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it a band or is it a person?
Well, he changed his name. He's a transgender guy. He won the Mobo Music Prize years ago, and there was a big controversy at the
Okay.
time because he won it. Um, so he's done an album called, oh God, his title was, if you type in Anthony and Johnson, you just think his voice is very etherical.
Okay.
It Yeah, it's like really, really when you listen, it's have you seen the film Fifth Element?
Yes, I love Fifth Element.
Yeah, right. You know the character that
The blue
is
one.
it and she
The
comes on,
diva.
she is a diva.
The
He's kind of in that. Yeah. It's fabulous. He's, he's kind of a bit in that thing. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. So
because it gets really techno-y after a few minutes.
Samantha Morton was in that, wasn't she?
Sorry?
I think Samantha Morton. I
May
think.
have been. It was a really famous singer who did that, actually.
Um, but so basically, he doesn't sing anything like that, but it's in that kind of, that's the kind of an emotion you would kind of have a reaction to listening to. So basically he's done an album which I have here, and he's had Mark Almond on the album, Boy George on the
Okay.
album, and Rufus Wainwright.
Oh, I like Rufus Wainwright.
Yeah,
Mainly just that one song, Hallelujah.
yeah. Oh, he's brilliant. That was
That was so
absolutely.
good.
I don't when he done that. It was just. Although I would say, do you know Katie Lang?
No, maybe by
All
face.
right. Katie Lang is this Canadian gay woman.
Hmm.
She initially started off kind of on an Elvis vibe, and then
Okay.
she went a bit more. But her voice is stunning. She's on this. Her big hit was "Constant Craving."
Constant Cable.
Um, yeah, and then she done Hallelujah, and she sang Hallelujah on front. She always goes barefoot,
Mm.
and she sang Hallelujah on front of Leonard Cohen in the audience.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I could tell she was pulling back from
Yeah.
the other versions I've seen of her doing it. In the sense, you get me. She didn't
Yeah.
want to,
Show him
you
up.
know. Yeah, I mean, because his version, I think, is terrible.
So that was Leonard Cohen's one. I don't remember
Yeah,
that. Is that the really slow one?
well, yeah, it was depressing. His
Yes.
version
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that
but
one either.
yeah, but he's the one that wrote the song.
Mm.
So he's the. But Katie Lang's version of Hallelujah, it's just uh, uh, an exercise in vocal gymnastics.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
way where she goes with it, it's just absolutely stunning. But
I'll have a listen to it
Anthony
later.
Johnson is also stunning. His voice is just, it really, really, really grabs you on a very deep level, is what I'd say. There's just something very, very different to the quality of his voice, you know. So yeah, there you go. So
Sorry, I'm just messaging JFu. Sorry.
is he there?
Yeah, he's just popped in the chat. He just said greetings. I said we come in peace.
Greetings from Mars.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to show him any tracks you'd like. Like I said, there's a different variety. So if he's more into the poppy one, there's some poppy ones. If he wants the reggae style,
Well, what I wouldn't go off with me. Demand once I hear something and it works in my head,
Mhm.
then I'm ready and confident to think, oh, sorry, and Alistair, I want you just to hear this.
Mhm.
You see what I mean? And then he will ask me questions. I did this before with him.
Mhm.
There's a guy on Nose's channel called Salvador. I don't know if you
Yes,
know him.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen some of the stuff he's done.
Have you seen the stuff he's done?
Well,
Like,
only on Nose's
so
channel, not on his
on Nose's
post.
channel.
Yeah.
Right. So there's one track he does knows, and it's in a very black and white. And he goes, "Oh, I can't remember the song, but it is absolutely, it's brilliant."
Mhm.
And I said to him, Salvador, how you know a song is a hit is when you don't get fed up hearing it. That's the signal of something that works, you know. So if you just want to keep hearing it, and there's no point in many times you hear it, you think, oh, not that again. Then you know you've got a hit.
Yeah.
And what was the song? Let me just see if I can find the song.
I know he's got that one that goes. It's a bit rappy. I think the ones I've heard Salvador do for him are a bit rappy. It's like the Big Nose of London.
No, right. This is not. This one is nothing to do with Nose himself.
Oh, okay. It's just something that he played.
He's done most of his. He's done most of his. The videos you see of Nose, reasoning. That's down to Salvador. But let me just see if I can find Salvador. All right. Okay. Yeah, right. The song is "That's the Way It Is, and I Like It." Ha 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 ha. Do you know the one?
No, I don't know that one. I'll have to listen to that.
Right. Let me just
drop the link in the chat.
Yeah. Hold on.
If it'll let you. You could do it in private chat.
Yeah, I have to try and find his channel first. Unless he's changed his name. Oh, bloody hell! Where is his channel gone?
Jafu, if you want to come up and have a chat, you're more than welcome to. Although, was it 12 o'clock now? Ugh.
Right. What's your story? What's the story for you?
I did say I was going to make it an early stream, but if the conversation's good, the conversation's good. I'm not going to stop a decent conversation.
Well, I'm going to try and get to Speaker's Corner tomorrow with. I don't know what is going on here, but
Hey, Jafu, how you doing, pal? There's always that.
Good evening. I'm not going to be staying for long today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're all clear.
Hello, Damien. Hello, Daman. I just want to refer something to we spoke yesterday, which Damien spoke about. We had a little bit of conversation about pessimistic view and optimistic, and there was this, and there was this.
Glass half
it didn't get to
glass
me. I reflected on it, and the conversation went about. When the conversation went about.
You do know I wouldn't be coming from a place of wanting to be offensive. You do realize that?
No, of course, by all means. But I just want to clarify everything, so there's no doubt. When you spoke about seeing the glass half full instead of half empty, yeah, yeah. So wait, hold on, just yet. You see, to me, that phrase. If that phrase will be presented to me, let's say physically, and I say, why don't you look at this glass as half full instead of whatever, yeah? I would take that glass and I would smash it against the wall.
So it was completely empty.
There is no glass.
No, and I would say, because to me, it's like being lukewarm. Whether you look at it as positive or negative, it's still being lukewarm. And I'm not gonna buy into it. So anyway, I like the man. I like the way you reacted to it.
That was funny. I didn't expect that.
I did have a think about it, Daman, about the conversation and something that you're thinking that I was going to at some point kind of ask you about again. Because you remember you were talking about change.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about change and why isn't there? I can't remember exactly how you were putting it. And what I wanted to say to you was, what would be the change you want to see? That was the main gist of it. You were saying things aren't changing, why isn't there change, or something in the. And I just wanted to say, what would you think? What would you want the change to be?
What would make the glass full? What would make it hot? If you want to go hot or cold, what would make it hot?
As I said, I thought I already made clear what I would do with that glass, but maybe the man would tell us his opinion, his view.
It's not about the glass. He's saying that, you say you don't want to be lukewarm, so that means you want to be hot or cold. Which one? Hot or cold?
what I want to do, I would smash that glass, and I was saying, let's see what. Because let's be honest, you know very well that this half, even if you want to be positive, this half full glass is not going to make your thirst go away. You're still going to be thirsty. Therefore, one has to ask oneself, is it time already? Isn't it already high time to leave that shell and see what happens? How long is still going? I mean, the cookie cutter homes and the mindless jobs and everything else, and whatever this cryptocurrency and all this BS. It's just, come on, it's just Trump being a president and all this stuff. You cannot tell me that you don't live in some kind of bullshit reality. Come on.
I mean, no, but what? Yeah, but JP, sorry. The reason I brought that up as an example, that analogy, was what I was really trying to highlight was that we make a choice about how we look at something.
Of course, I know what you meant.
Yeah, that was the only thing really.
No, yeah. I know the phrase. I know the phrase for decades. Of course, I'm aware of it.
Why would you smash the glass?
Because he's saying let's just break it all. He's saying let's just start again.
Not start again.
No, I thought you wanted to
only when you smash the glass, you're gonna see what's gonna happen after. Otherwise, this becomes a trick.
So really, explain that, JP. Within the example of me saying it's two perspectives, so we're choosing a perspective, and obviously what I was saying was we're choosing perspective.
Well, look.
So when we smash the glass completely, we can't have a perspective at all. So
exactly. Because we have to acquire entirely new perspective.
Right.
Entirely new.
But
tell me. Ask yourself this question. Let's be realistic. Go ahead, Daman. You tell me your odds, and please, Damien, tell me yours. How many relationships are out there, and those people would love to leave their spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends behind, but somehow they're bound to it like slaves? How many people would love to be set free from it?
Yeah, but
how many people would love to get up and leave their jobs?
But
how many people would like to say you cannot do it? You cannot do it unless you're going to smash that glass.
Yeah, but the the saying, the grass is always greener. Do you know what I mean?
No,
sometimes
it's not. That phrase, all due respect, that phrase is when you have a comparison, let's say, to somebody else. That's when you say those things, yeah. But not when you have.
Not necessarily. I think. Look, I think if you're in the wrong relationship, you're in a bad relationship, or a bad situation, or a bad job, anything that makes you so unhappy that it completely stifles you on a mental and emotional level and level, then I think yes, it's right to move on. But I think it's also valid to say that sometimes it's easier to move into something else rather than making an effort to try and fix what you're in. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So let's put it this way. Imagine you're on the ship and you're the captain. Daman, I'm asking you first.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the steering wheel, and you can point one of the options where you can set direction for. One of the options is unknown. So you have other options: happiness, good life, everything else, and you have other things, whatever else. And there's one degree, one direction, and it's the unknown. So I'm asking you, what would be the course you would take?
For me, it's about adventure. I love adventure. I don't care about, as much as I want happiness and stuff, that's for other people. I want everyone else to be happy because I see so many people.
What do you mean by adventure? Is it something that you know?
No,
or you don't know?
No, adventure is stepping into the unknown. I would love to do that.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
But
And
that's
that can
me.
only happen. That can only happen when you smash the damn glass.
No, for sure.
Because
Right.
that glass is meant to always keep you slightly you get slightly
I'm
Right.
gonna
but you always remain
I'm gonna ask you a
thirsty
question.
next day.
I'm gonna ask you a question. So you're the captain of your ship, and you're in control of the steering wheel. And one way goes towards happiness, peace, love, and all that stuff, and the other way goes to the unknown adventure. But it's not just you on your boat. You've got the rest of your crew, which is your family and everything like that. Are you going to take your family down where they're maybe not ready for it, towards adventure, or are you going to keep them safe and go towards the? Do you see what I mean?
That's a tricky question, and I tell you why. I spoke to you about how family what's the nature how family become what they are. So, and when I told you that the children choose the parents,
yeah.
therefore they already knew what kind of character I would be and what I'm capable of. So it's not like they would say, "Oh, I'm surprised that my father would be like this." No, they exactly would know
but
what they're getting themselves into.
But using your example from before, you said there's some people they're in unhappy marriages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they've got kids in the situation and then they want to go off adventure, how would you handle that situation? Because obviously the kids haven't chosen.
Well. They have chosen. That's
the single adventurer.
Hold on.
They've chosen the parents together, right?
I do not make me liable for other people's choices.
I'm just wondering how it would work in that situation, because obviously
your first question was hold on. Your first question was if I had my family.
Correct. Yes.
My family is sitting on my ship.
You answered that beautifully.
And I am the captain.
Yes. And you answered that beautifully.
And that's it.
But I've got a caveat, because you did say also that people are in unhappy marriages. So I'm thinking in that situation.
Well, it doesn't mean they have to. Yes, but when I say the unhappy relationships, it doesn't mean they had children. You can go into many options and the possibilities. You're going into. Wait, this is what you're doing. You're opening the door for multiple possibilities, kind of like what's the word? Like you have multiple universes and all that random things and so on. Yeah, and I think that's a mistake. Also, perhaps if let's say if that glass would be smashed, people would start to be real. Perhaps many marriages would happen to be happy again.
That's what I'm thinking.
Perhaps.
Yeah. It's about bringing them together rather than
that's
splitting them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a walking into the unknown instead of compromising it.
Jefu, if you go into an art gallery and we both look at the same painting, know what I mean? And we can have two very different reactions to the painting. One, I mean, there was, I don't know if you remember this story, but there was a thing of where they done this painting, right? They made this painting was put up in an art gallery. And all the critics and the top art critics, Brian Sewell, I think his name was one of them, came in, absolute. Oh, I can really feel the movement of what he was thinking when he made that line and when he done that. And so they turned the people watching it, having a subjective experience of the painting, turned it into something whatever, And then afterwards, they came back. There was a kind of a program as well. And they said, sorry, guys, we just need to tell you that painting you've just said is like the next Michelangelo or whatever. That was just a 3-year-old child throwing paint cans at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the point I'm making is I think we can choose to look at things. That's the point I'm making. It's how we see things. We choose to look at something in a particular way.
Okay, so what you're saying, someone might look at...
have the emotional reaction connected to that.
You're saying someone might look at the happiness thing as adventure rather than the unknown as adventure. It depends on who it is.
I think that saying where people say, have you ever decided to settle down? Like some people are nomads, and they say, God, you're running away all your life. That kind of way. You're just this person who's a hippie. you're afraid to settle with what you have. You think there's something out there, that's calling you from far away or whatever, and this a lot. Some people say you're just avoiding taking responsibility. It's probably me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think
You
that's a
know?
bit of all of us, to be honest. I think all of us kind of
Yeah,
avoid a bit of responsibility when we can.
yeah, absolutely. But I don't think I do. I just think if I get I could look at, don't get me wrong, even though I see the glass is half full, it doesn't mean I can't see it's half empty. Do you get my
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
So
Yeah, sure.
so just as much as I try to keep a smile on things, JP, and kind of keep a balance in where I'm at with people and just dealing with the day, doesn't mean that I'm blind. I can't see the shit.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, does
I
it
hear
mean
you.
I'm denying that it's there? No. It just means what can I? Because you would have heard me on, when I was on Notice channel a few times. I go into the positives, like so. I check the boats data, that comes over every day,
Mm.
the illegal boats. And when I kind of brought that in to the things like, look at guys, there's been no boats for 2 weeks. So this year so far, there's only 61 people who's come across on the boats. And of course, people will turn and say, oh, but that's because of the weather, that's because of this, that's because of.
Mm.
So when I tried to bring a different thing in to say, look at the positive, do you see what I mean? Um, People struggle with that. So I tried to just, yes, it's not perfect. Yes, there's issues. Yes, we probably have more issues. But I tried to stay in the now, and the now is we're on the 12th of January, and there's only 61 people come across on the boats on France. You see what I mean? That's the reality of the now,
Mm.
Jay.
I
So I
think.
can,
Sorry,
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say. I think it's not something that's mutually exclusive. It's not as if you have to break the glass, because I think even if you go like with the example Fu gave, one goes towards peace and one goes towards the unknown. When you go down the unknown, you don't want to go with the mindset of glass is half empty. You don't want to be looking for the negatives. You want to go
Mm,
down to the unknown with the positive mindset of we will get through this one way or the other. There is a
yeah, yeah.
positive spin to make that unknown adventurous. If you go
I
down that with the negative mindset, it turns into a horror.
Well, I think personally, you're young, the man, yeah. So you can, when I
Everyone
say
always
that,
says that.
no, but I say that in the way that it's okay for you at your age to go out and have the unknown.
Mm.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas what I think with me, I mean, I'm not old, and I don't think JP is not old. He's probably a bit younger than me, even if he is father of 5 kids. I just feel I just want a bit more stability. I think at 59, coming up 59, I want a bit more stability. I've done all the unknown, traveling around India and having great times in India, etc., etc., etc. So I've had all of that. And I think my unknown is that I would want now would be something of a different quality of unknown. So it may be something having a conversation with somebody, having something in the moment that they exchange with me in a particular way,
Mm.
energy wise, or something to say, and I come home and thinking, oh my god, that was just so amazing.
Yeah.
So that's where my unknowns now. I don't want them to be life shattering, but more if they're going to be life shattering, more in my psychological makeup, how they affect my psyche, and hopefully to make me grow and expand in my how I see people in the world.
Hmm.
What I mean? Doesn't mean that I'm not aware that the world's falling apart. You know what I mean? But it's just we I think it's we have our safety mechanisms, don't we, to get through the day. And we can't fix everything. Do you know what I mean?
You can't
I've
have
spoken to a
complete
few people.
anarchy and you can't have complete control. It has to be a
No,
balance of between.
yeah, yeah, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I can't see where anarchy on the streets. I do see stuff, and I think the Palestinian protesters going into churches, going through, behaving in a way where there's no regard of the environment they're in, what they're
Mm.
doing. You know, etc. You know, there might be elderly people giving out money, raising pop. Do you remember when this all started off with Israel? There was a lot of stuff in the main train stations. So you had people giving out, elderly people selling poppies or raising money for the poppy appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And they were completely being intimidated by the Palestinian protesters in the train station. So I think when we get to a stage where there's nothing sacred anymore, and you know there are certain things that were inbuilt in us that no matter what, we'd always reach out, and for an elderly person, for example, say, "Are you okay? Can I do this for you?" Whatever, you know. So when those barriers break down, I think you use Twitter, don't you, Jafer? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you use Twitter?
No, hardly.
Oh, I thought you did. That was something you said yesterday.
No.
Because I saw a video of, it was just the most disgusting video. And it was
You
this
usually
old
see the
woman.
worst things on Twitter.
Oh, but this was like, it was this old woman, and she reminded me of my mom. You know, she was in a shop, at the shelving area. You know where the stuff is stacked.
Mm.
She had a stick, and and these two black guys just came up and were really, really slapping her in the face and everything, and it was just the most. So when I see things like that, when I see there's no value, when people don't think that everything is off the table, and you know where there's just no value of respect, especially for just certain. You know, there's always been certain groups of people we just wouldn't go there. You know what I mean? Like people in a wheelchair or disabled or whatever. You know, somebody who's very vulnerable. You know, and you recognize the vulnerability, especially people who are blind. And I just think when you cross, there's lines. I just think there's lines you don't cross.
Human
But those
decency
lines
lines. Yeah.
Human decency lines. And
Yeah, but
those
I don't
lines
think Jafu's saying break the human decency lines. I hope not.
No.
I think he's
No,
just
I
saying
wasn't,
more about just.
no, I wasn't saying he was saying that.
No, because I kind of thought like when he said go towards the unknown, he was saying a bit more anarchy, and not so much planned, not so much about the going towards peace and harmony and unity, but go towards a little bit of anarchy. You know, a little bit of anarchy is good. But yeah.
Well, I think
where at what point did you pick up anarchy? In my example,
I didn't pick that up.
I did because you said one way was the peace, and what was the other way?
The unknown.
The unknown. And typically with anarchy, there is a lot of unknowns, whereas with
that's not quite correct.
Anarchy means no rules, right?
Well, hold on 1 second. It's no rules based on rules, meaning it's still on the same principle that they know the rules, but that they willingly
break them.
Choose to break them.
Yeah. So
that has nothing to do with the unknown. There's no anarchy in it.
No, it's unknown because you don't know which rules they're gonna break or not. Like
No. I tell you an interesting story. That's really funny since you said that.
Yeah,
I tell you an interesting story. I was taking this teacher training course in New Zealand some years ago, and 20 years ago over. Anyway, and there was this American fellow who, no, actually he was Kiwi, and we were classmates. And I would come to an art class usually quite late, and he asked me. And this question, I never forget it. He asked me, "Don't you follow any rules?" And to which I replied, "What rules?" meaning, you see, the anarchists know the rules.
Yeah.
And they go against it.
Yeah.
They know.
So my reply to him was, "What rules?" Meaning, I did not. Of course, that was a joke, but now I'm referring that. So there's no anarchy about going into unknown. There's
still rules, but so I'm not saying that there's no more rules. I'm saying when you go towards anarchy, there's still rules in place, but the people who go down towards anarchy aren't going to play by those rules, and that's what Damien was saying.
But they're acknowledging them. But they acknowledge that they exist.
They could acknowledge they exist, but if they still slap an old lady in the face,
that doesn't. But you see, yes, but all this is still based on the known.
I do, yeah, I know. I do get what you're saying, Fu. I think what he's saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fu. Yeah, is that even with everything going on, we're still playing along a particular game. We're still playing
Yep,
the same
that's right. That's right. That's right.
for years and years and years. And he's not suggesting particularly anarchy that everybody takes to the streets, but you're really saying that something new in the thinking has something. The thinking has to. We need new thinking, completely something like we haven't taught before.
Yeah. Therefore, and the only way to do it is to shatter that glass.
Right. Yeah, but but the only thing with that, Jefu, is that you're talking about a kind of a cataclysmic thing to happen, like to mankind, all at one go, whereas
No,
almost
no.
almost like
It,
an asteroid hitting the Earth, and then we're in a situation where we have to survive, and then we come together because everything has all happened, and now what do we do?
well, there you go. You see, that's the
Yeah.
whole beauty. That's the whole beauty. Since we already know uh, through ancient
Yeah.
writings that the mankind always
Mm.
resurfaced, manifested itself again, and so on. We
Mm.
know one thing: we will reinvent ourselves,
But what you're
and
saying, Jeff, is we're in a system. No matter, even if we think we're not out of the system and reacting and resisting, we're still in the system.
that's
I
correct,
mean,
100%,
yeah.
100%.
What we need to do is to be actually recognized. It's not about going out smashing things or in a
No,
physical way, anything
absolutely
like that.
not.
It's about recognizing if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem because
Mm.
of how you're thinking. Because you're not, and it's really about because they're not challenging. We're not challenging the bigger narratives that are coming at us from up above.
Yeah,
That's the key thing is we're accepting the narrative in so
yeah.
many ways. In the sense of uh, for example, like the all the big stores now have said the prices of food are going to go back up again, rather than because of the increase in the national insurance from the government in the budget
Mm,
uh, to retailers. Instead of saying, well, yeah, we have to absorb that into our profits.
Mm.
Yes, we still make hundreds of millions of pounds in profits, but it'll be only 200 million as opposed to 100 million because that extra bill on that extra national insurance number or increase is going to cost us that. So instead of saying like a conscientious change, saying that's what we will do, they say no, we're going to give up, we charge all you people who have no money already and put your things up to pay that bill.
Just so
And
that they
that's
could keep
kind of what
that
you
profit margin. Yeah.
need to keep that profit margin, right?
Mm.
And that's kind of a part of what you're kind of saying, JP. I don't think you're probably thinking about that, but I think
mm.
that's kind of the kind of thinking is what you mean. That
Yeah,
has,
you getting yes, you're getting an idea. And
yeah,
Daman, don't take me wrong. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that sometimes the anarchists don't have a point. I'll give you an
No, no,
example.
I think they do have a point. I like anarchy.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan
yeah.
of
But I
yeah.
anarchy.
don't like
So,
the Mona Lisa having paid Tron over it. My God, when I see things like these,
but
work
let me give you an example. Let me
give
give
me
you
a second,
for
guys. I'll be back in a
for
second.
for the government, for example, there was a previous government who was so gracious
Hmm.
that decided to take 2p off the fuel price. 2p off. You see, that's when the anarchy makes sense because those people who said those things, somebody should beat the shit out of them for even having an audacity
Hmm.
to say we're going to take 2p off, and then the price of butter is £2
Yeah.
and used to be a pound. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I'm listening to things like this, and what happens is they're turning their own society into a society of beggars that they actually force to look at the fuel price, the gasoline price, or whatever, the petrol
Mm.
price and diesel price. Oh, it's in 139. Oh, now it's 141. That's a mentality that the government
No,
decided
bro,
to
trust me, I'm with you on this.
implant into people.
I'm
And isn't that offensive? Isn't that
so
offensive towards
offensive,
society?
so offensive.
Absolutely,
For
absolutely, 100%,
for me,
100%.
a example I could give is smoking. Cigarettes are like 70% tax. I'm paying nearly £15 a packet where 70% of that is just going to the government. It's just going straight
Yeah.
into the government's pocket, and it's like, wait, how? Why is it that much? Just because the government wants to keep putting up the price. Otherwise, it'd be what I think the cigarettes used to cost like £4 for a 20 deck. So yeah, no, I get you, and trust me, I would love a bit of anarchy to mess things up. I think trying to do this channel, I think I spoke on this channel previously as well. It's about how like the people in charge are the problem. It's not. They want you to fight amongst yourselves. They want you to go, Muslims are the problem, and they want Muslims to go, Jews are the problem, and they want the Christians to go, everyone's the problem. So, because they were trying to make us fight amongst each other, we don't look at who the real culprits are, the people in charge. So yeah, I am with you on that 100%.
The 1%, man.
Yeah,
really.
Essentially the
1%, yeah. And we're paying the price for the 1% who don't want to pay the price.
It's not as if they don't. No, it's not as if they don't want to pay the price, because they could pay it. It's more of a they don't want to lose control, because as soon as we are getting decent money, as soon as we are getting a good, healthy lifestyle, now people aren't so worried about their neighbors or the price of things. Now they're looking at, wait, who's in charge and what decisions are they making?
Yeah.
And if people are starting to think about the people in charge, that's when things start going wrong for them.
J-Food, do you know Salvador? You know Salvador on Noses channel?
No.
Salvador Tortelli Dark Side. I think he's changed his name. You know, Nose used to play a track on his channel where it was kind of black and white kind of graphics, and it was like, that's the way.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
So he's changed his. He seems to have. He had all this music. I was trying to show the man some track that he knows used to play all the time, but he seems to have changed his name. I can't find him anymore on YouTube.
Oh.
I was just wondering.
The song is named "I'm Standing My Ground," right? Something like this.
Is it "I'm Standing My Ground" or that's the? I thought it was "That's the Way It Is" and I like it.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Something like that. Yeah.
He's changed his YouTube name, so I can't find the track. It's a brilliant track. The track is absolutely brilliant, and he created.
Yeah. So it was pretty good. I agree. Anyway, I wish you good night because I gotta wake up early.
No, you don't have to. Come on, Jake. Anarchy.
We're doing an all-nighter tonight till 6 in the morning, Jacob.
That's it.
I have my responsibilities.
No, you
I do appreciate.
We have adventure. Come on, you're sticking around for the adventure, the unexpected.
And go into the unknown. Stay up all night.
The man. Next week, I'm proposing perhaps Tuesday and Wednesday for 2 hours. Let's not go into 4 hours, but let's say 2-hour segment to focus on the specific subject.
On the one that you wanted
perhaps,
to. Yeah, we can do.
Yeah.
Are you at Speaker's Corner tomorrow, yeah?
No, I don't know. It's cold. I'm not sure. No.
Okay. I might turn up, actually. So if you're there, you're there. I'll give you a message, and I'll find out if you're there when I'm
all right.
heading
Okay.
down.
Anyway, good night again.
J-Fu, what subject are you going to focus? Do you want them to focus on?
Death, illness, and sickness.
Right. Okay. I shall bow out.
It's the esoteric side.
Right. Okay.
The esoteric understanding of death.
Right.
The esoteric understanding of illness.
Right. I'm still curious, J-Fu, when you said about Nirvana and that eventually the soul stops being anything anymore. You remember when you were saying that?
Yeah.
I was curious about what you meant. Because in my head, I think the consciousness continues forever, even if it comes back in again and goes back out again, etc., etc., etc. But you said that you believe or you think that there comes a point where that stops happening, and then the whole
that's correct.
Right, and the whole consciousness disappears.
That's correct.
That you're nothing anymore.
Yes, that's another esoteric concept that you're referring to, which I should probably be fair and speak about, or rather bring to your awareness, which is the concept of nothingness.
Right.
So the consciousness, human consciousness, enters at some point the state of nothingness, which is a highest form of purification.
You reckon?
With no awareness in that state.
is already. And think of it this way: if you look, if you this actually it's actually written. If you take 3 levels of conscious, subconscious, and unconscious
Mm.
as 3 levels of awareness, and you have a unconscious level of awareness, then you see that the nothingness is embedded in the story of creation came to be, meaning that where is it from that the creation came to existence? And then you realize that the nothingness is actually not nothingness is actually some form of
Somethingness.
existence as well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, the only way I would kind of understand it that I believe is that even when they talk about the Big Bang, the Big Bang, that
Yeah.
even before, so Muslims say that something came from nothing, and all of use that argument. But even before that happened, if we accept that what everything came from was a Big Bang, there still would have been something before it because the
No, that's what I
energy.
mean. But that's what I
Yeah.
mean. But again, you see, this is I mentioned that yesterday to Daman. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I said that the in esoteric nature of understanding an esoteric world, the exteriors also have exteriors.
Hmm.
Can you comprehend this?
Yeah.
And interiors have interiors.
But this really is the unknown J food. That's what I talk about. That's what I.
There we go. And
Yeah.
unknown actually leads you to that state,
Yeah.
which is complete lack of any awareness, which ultimately actually leads to the state where the consciousness
It's
completely
still,
dissolves itself.
yeah, but it's also on another level. It's also the infinity, isn't it? It's the
Well,
infinite.
infinite. Well,
Infinite, infinite. And just continue, continue, continue. Everything is continue, continue. And yes, there may be a barrier, and you go through it, and then there's something else, and something else.
Yeah, you might get to that nothingness and then find out, oh wait, there's more levels to.
There's more.
wait. Hold on.
Mm.
But that's why one has to comprehend the intervals, let's say between the yugas or between the epochs.
Hmm.
What is the why? So you see, just like you have on cosmic level, you have intervals which would bring death into manifestation. So one yuga would end, and a
What,
new one would arise.
what was the word you used, Jaipu? Yuga.
Yuga, yeah.
I spell it.
W.
Why?
It's
No, it's
YUGA. Yuga.
that's
Why?
it.
Why
YUGA.
Yuga? Okay,
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
It's a very common Hindu term. It just means like epochs. It's just
Yeah.
eons or whatever.
Right.
And they were all the intervals between them is always manifested through death. Specific level of death again depends what somebody. You see, this is what I'm saying, that this conversation about that is gonna be quite complicated, because you're speaking of geometry, Damien.
Mm.
Even you see, a geometry accompanies everything.
Yeah, I've seen
And
a bit of stuff around that. Yeah, in the universe.
no,
there's-
don't forget one thing. Just I give you example. You know that geometry lives independent from our consciousness, meaning we have not invented it, we have
of
discovered
course,
it.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we've only discovered so much. We don't know there's so much more to discover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Anyway, I should go to bed. I wish we definitely speak again, and again, wish you good night. And there's lots of things are coming like tsunami in my head about the next conversation next week.
Awesome.
Daman.
We'll probably do Tuesday. Wait, what days? Monday
Tuesday
and
and
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Oh, is
Tuesday and
Monday bad for
Wednesday.
you? Yeah?
Monday, no, not Monday. Tuesday
Okay,
and
cool.
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Cool.
yeah,
I'll
it's really nice to speak to you.
Likewise. Have a good night.
bro.
All
Take it
right,
easy.
see you,
Take
my
care. Bye
friend.
bye.
Okay. The man, I'm going to shoot up.
Okay.
I'm probably going to if I can get myself together in the morning time.
Mm.
I'll probably head up to Speaker's Corner around midday.
Cool. I know you don't like giving your number out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop you my number in the private
No,
chat.
no, the man. Don't worry about it for the moment.
You sure?
If you're there and you see me, we see each other because I could wait. I could just as easily wake up and think, oh god, yeah, and you know what I mean. I could wake up late
Yeah.
and think, oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was
What
just
I'd do-
because I might just turn up, I might be there for an hour, and then I'll go, I'm bored and go home. But if you're on the way, I don't want to just
Yeah,
miss
no,
you.
I won't make a commitment because it'll all depend on how I am when I wake up in the morning.
You're going to be positive. You're going
No,
to be
no,
positive.
I'll be positive, but it'll depend. You know, it's mostly dependent on the weather.
Mhm.
Mostly depends what time I wake up. Because normally what I do when I go there is I go to Sainsbury's
Mhm.
and I get a meal deal.
Mhm.
So I fill my bag with a few bits and pieces and go in and say a few hellos. You know, so
Sweet.
that happen. Yeah, so I'll do. So what I leave because it's going to be 3 degrees. The man.
Double up your socks, yep.
Yeah, that's the one. It's the socks. I noticed it today. It was the
Yeah.
feet.
It's
Me and
so
my friend
cold.
was saying it, and I thought, oh god, I was really insulated in my, everything else,
Mm.
but my god, my feet were cold.
Yeah.
So that's all. I'll aim for it tomorrow, but I don't want to kind of disappoint.
No stress, no stress.
But so I'll try and get there. But I get there by 12:30 to 1.
12:30 to 1. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. I hope I should be around that time anyway. I'll probably disappear around 2 o'clock latest, maybe. It
Okay.
depends on the conversations, to be honest. There's a few people that I really like having good conversations with. So if I
Right.
manage to bump into them, I'll stick around for a bit longer. But otherwise, yeah, I'll be
How do
doing a quick thing.
how do you get there?
Train.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I probably won't. Jake was great, but he knows his stuff. He knows an awful lot more than me. So when my kind of thinking is, I just believe that based on my experiences,
Mm.
that we're not the body, and that the soul will go on to somewhere else. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't believe in the Islamic version of where we're going on.
The
I
hell
just
thing,
believe in much higher consciousness.
Mm.
That's a oneness to everything.
Mm.
And I kind of, when Jacob was talking about nothingness, that experience I told you I had, even though I was feeling connected to everything, also described that experience of not as an experience I felt of nothingness,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of I wasn't there, even though I was aware I was having it on some
No,
level.
I
But
think it's something that you can experience while you're here.
yeah,
That I am one with everything, but I am nothing at the same time.
yeah,
It's the duality of the nothingness and the somethingness.
yeah.
And instead of
So
just identifying with one or the other, it's you
yeah,
find the
but I think
balance.
I'd probably bear out of when you're doing the things with him. It's a little bit over my threshold and of what I know.
Honestly,
And
you helped earlier because he said something that I didn't quite get, and then you kind of elaborated it. And I think this is why I
yeah,
like having these group conversations: is the fact that I might not get everything he says, you might not get everything he
yeah.
says, but sometimes
No,
you
yeah,
guys might not get
totally.
everything I say. But the
Absolutely,
different
yeah, no,
perspectives
totally.
end up putting the
Just
puzzle pieces
everybody
together.
has, yeah, everybody has something to bring to the table, and like you said, so somebody might cook something, the other person doesn't cook, and they're, oh, I think this is what was doing,
That's it.
and then he kind of confirms it. But I think the subject, long story, maybe I'll tell you another time. But I think the story of death and
Sickness and all that.
the whole and all these different transitions of death, etc. And I think it might just be a little bit. I might find it a little bit too heavy.
No,
It'd
no
be a
stress, no
little
stress.
bit,
Yeah,
yeah,
no pressure, bro. No pressure. But if you do feel like you can want to join in,
yeah.
don't feel like you don't
No,
have to because you've said you.
yeah, no. Well, I'll see where I might listen and see where it goes,
Yeah.
but I won't make a commitment to it because it's I'm not I know I know, but that kind of way I know what I don't
I
know.
know,
I
but
don't,
I know nothing.
you know what I mean? Like no says I know, but yeah, but no, but yeah. I know, and I kind of know a kind of conversation where I probably wouldn't want to kind of go. It would just be not something I'd have an interest in. Because I'm probably just where I'm now. Come back in 10 years, I'd probably be telling you the whole thing on it. That kind of like, that's the kind of thing.
Still on the journey.
Still on the yeah, basically,
Yeah.
and I think he's a lot far with those kind of conversations and those subjects. That would be much farther up the road. And I'm sorry, but I'm on a snail's pace there. You have to slow down for me. I'm right back here. You know what I mean? So,
It's all good.
okay, all right. This is the man. Nice to speak to you.
You too, man.
Have a
Have you
good
had your
sleep.
pizza
Yeah?
already?
I had a pizza. Yeah, I had my pizza about 9 o'clock.
Oh, perfect.
Wood oven pizza. Saved a bit of money, so I'm kind of So I'm just going to do a few things here now and then wind down. Probably watch a bit of
Yeah,
Noses
just
channel.
give
But
the piano a quick wipe down. It looks a bit dusty from here.
it is, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, if I clean that, sorry, if I
The
clean
other side there.
that's right, yeah. Sorry, if I clean that piano, the cleaner will feel guilty when she comes in,
Oh,
and
oh, you're
she's
thinking about the cleaner. That's so kind of you.
not to clean. And then I can't take your money. Look at it, you've done all this as well. You know, so sorry. Do you pay for your backlinks now? Because this is the free one I have on
Okay, yeah,
StreamYard.
this one's free as well. This was just AI generated. I just said AI make me a nice living room with lots of light, and then it came up with this, and then I was like, okay, cool, that works. Bam. Because I was just wanted one that not everyone will recognize. You can see that it's a green screen because of all these things and all that.
Well, you can't really. You can't really see. Mine, you can actually. Mine is a bit better today, but you can't really see with yours. There's not that movement.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the head area.
You have to
Okay,
tweak the settings. You have to tweak the settings,
right,
and you need
okay.
more light. If you have lights,
Yeah, I don't have much more light than this.
you need light on the green, and then you need light on yourself, and then that way you're able to get that kind of like contrast between the green and you.
Right.
But we're right
But sorry,
now.
when you say, man, that you created the AI, where did you do? How did you do that? How did you do it and then transfer it into StreamYard?
So once you, I make the songs, and then I make videos for the songs, and then
Right.
with StreamYard you could just upload a couple of different clips. You could add all the different clips. Like if I was to make a video clip of me running around, and while I'm sitting here on StreamYard, I'm like, oh, check this out, guys. This is what I did earlier. I could press play, and it'll go through StreamYard. So yeah, the AI I didn't make. The AI is some online tool I use for music.
I'm talking about your backdrop, yeah.
Oh, the backdrop. Oh,
Yeah.
I think I used Bing, Microsoft Bing or something. I honestly can't remember. I was just.
And then you upload it and then save it and then export it into StreamYard.
Yeah, you just when you go into StreamYard and you're setting up your camera, you could just say choose upload a background rather than choosing one of the standard ones.
All right. Okay. Oh,
and then you could just put any photo you like.
Give me an option to go into my own files, right?
Yeah.
So I would just take it from there. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, man.
It's been a pleasure. You too, man. Take care. Speak soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Alrighty, that was awesome. Did not expect this stream to go on this long at all, but I'm glad it did. It was actually a really good conversation. I don't know what I'm going to say now. I honestly don't. There's so much that was said about the anarchy, about the nothingness, about adventure. I love adventure. I really want an adventure. Right? This is kind of an adventure for me because, like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to say. It's just me here, sitting here talking to you guys and trying to spread hope and then trying to have good conversations at the same time. Don't know where the conversations are going to lead. I think we started with Damien. Oh, I forgot to tell him my mountain story. So I better write that down for next time. My mountain analogy. Yeah, it ends up going into loads of different directions, which I kind of like. I like that. I like the spontaneity of the conversations. When you've got it too structured. Because I did that previously. On my first few streams, I always try to be like, guys, keep it on topic, keep it on topic, keep it on topic. But I prefer the free flow. I just wanted to keep it on topic for you guys watching. I didn't want you to sit there and go, all right, they're talking about this now. I don't want to listen to this. I came here for whatever the title says. Yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I'm liking the free flow conversations. I hope you guys are too. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Appreciate Jfu, Damien, and everyone in the chat, all the ninjas. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And share if you think anyone would be interested in this conversation. But tomorrow I'll be at Speaker's Corner. I will maybe do a quick live stream while I'm there. If the conversation is good, I'll throw on a live stream from Speaker's Corner. If not, I shall see you possibly tomorrow night. But thank you all for joining. I'm going to throw on a song to finish. If anyone's got a particular favourite song that they want to listen to, tell me now. Oh, Forever Hold Your Peace. Let's go with... I want to go with Walk With God. I like this song. This is a good one. Alright, take care guys. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye.
I never walked alone, God by my side. Through the valleys of shadow, he's my guide. When the road gets rough and the nights get cold, his love lights the way, worth more than gold. I hear his voice in the wind, his touch in the rain, healing every heartache, erasing the pain. Step by step, I'm walking in his grace. With love in my heart, I'm running this race. Walk with God, let him lead the way. Feel his peace every single day. Join the stride, let love define. He's with you always, keep him on your mind. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. To the weary and lost, come take my hand. We'll walk together to the promised land. No burden too heavy, no soul too low. When you walk with God, the blessings flow. He's the anchor in storms, the calm in strife, the beacon of hope, the giver of life. Let's spread this love, let's make it known. In God's embrace, we're never alone. Walk with God, let him lead the way. Feel his peace every single day. Join the stride, let love define. He's with you always, keep him on your mind. Stronger together, united in his name. Walking in love through joy and pain. Every step is a prayer, every path a song. With God in our hearts, we can't go wrong. Let the world see the light that we carry inside. A flame that won't falter with him as our guide. So lift your voice, let's call them home. No one should ever have to walk alone. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. To the weary and lost, come take my hand. We'll walk together to the promised land. No burden too heavy, no soul too low. When you walk with God, the blessings flow. He's the anchor in storms, the calm in strife, the beacon of hope, the giver of life. Let's spread this love, let's make it known. In God's embrace, we're never alone. To the weary and lost, come take my hand. We'll walk together to the promised land. No burden too heavy, no soul too low. When you walk with God, the blessings flow. He's the anchor in storms, the calm in strife, the beacon of hope, the giver of life. He's the anchor in storms, the calm in strife. For real, you always keep him on your mind. Are you ready to move, to walk in the truth, to trade in the lies for eternal proof? Open your heart, let his love ignite, and walk in his glory, bathed in his light. We're calling the nations, we're calling the lost, to walk in his footsteps, whatever the cost. With love in your heart and God in your mind, you'll see the peace that the world can't find. Walk with God, let him lead the way. Feel his peace every single day. Join the stride, let love define. He's with you always, keep him on your mind. So take that step, don't hesitate. With God by your side, your future's great. We're walking together, his love our song. Forever with God, where we all belong. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Where we all belong. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, where we all belong. Oh, 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 oh. We all belong. With God in our hearts, we can't go wrong. Look, God in our hearts, we can't go wrong.
I am the dust at the feet of God's servants. Only God is special.